Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to the Sports Corner Europa League live watch-along for the 5:55 p.m. kickoffs. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all fantastically well. It is the Goals Show. As you will know, last week we covered the 8 p.m. kickoffs of these specific fixtures. We got some good games, some high-scoring matches, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. And we're back once again to cover these games tonight. Kickoff of these matches are in about 5 minutes time, so we haven't got long left to wait until kickoff for these games. If you're new to stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription. It is incredibly appreciated for those of you that haven't subscribed already, as we do push towards 1,900 subscribers on the channel. But as I said before, we've got a whole host of games to cover tonight. Lots of big matches, lots of, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, dramatic games and maybe some inspirational comebacks. You never know, but considering what we had last night, me and KL, that probably isn't going to happen in the Europa League either. But as I said, we've got kickoff in 5 minutes for these games. So without further ado, we're going to go through the lineups of each of the matches today, go through all of the games. In fact, now, all of them are going to be covered. There are going to be one or two games yet again that unfortunately don't get covered. That's because, of course, there's not as many of us tonight, unfortunately. But don't worry, I'll keep you up to date with the scores of those matches. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first game. As I said, kickoff is in 5 minutes' time. Let's start from the left-hand side to the right. And the first big game is Ajax-Lille. Now, Ajax, what a game this turned out to be in the end. It started off quite a slow match. First 45 minutes wasn't really interesting, but the last 15, 20 minutes or so turned into quite an enthralling match. It ended 2-1 on aggregate to Ajax. Lille, of course, under quite some pressure right now to go out there and get a victory. However, if they can get an away goal tonight, it could make things fairly interesting in this game. And to cover this match tonight, of course, it's going to be Mr. KL. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Now, like when we look at these two sides on paper, I'll quickly run through them for those of you that maybe can't see the screen as well. So it's a 4-3-3 tonight for Ajax. Stekelenburg is in goal. Back four of Blind, Martinez, Timber and Rensch. Same back four they used in the Europa League last week. Midfield three of Gravenberch, Klaassen and Alvarez. And then up top is David Neres, Tadic and Anthony. So that is the Ajax side. And then Losk Lille going with a 4-4-2 tonight. Magnan is in goal. Back four of Badaric, Botman, Thiago Jallo and Zeki Selik. Midfield four of Jonathan Bamba, Xheka, Renato Sanchez and Jonathan Akone. And then up top is Yusuf Yazici and Timothy Weah. Quite clearly tonight, KL, the pressure is on Lille to go out there and get something. If they can get a nice early goal, make it 2-2, get that important away goal as well, we could be in for a barnstormer of a game. And I'm not going to get too excited this time, but you never know.
Yeah, what we want to see really from Lille, and it's kind of what they've kind of noted in the press conference as well, I think it might have been Jonathan David, they were really timid in that first leg. They did not play like the Lille side that we expect, because to be fair, it's a young side, and usually they're quite fearless, especially in Ligue 1. They're taking that by storm this year. They've got Xheka back in the midfield, and they've got Benjamin Andre back on the bench. So that's a bit of midfield solidity that may have been lacking last week. Back in the wide areas is where I see most of the talent for both sides. I don't know about you, Josh, but Ikone, Bamba, Anthony and Neres, that is so much attacking talent for this game to be hopefully not as dull as last week's. But it's gone attacking as Galtier with a 4-4-2. They've got to stay solid and don't concede an early goal, because that could put the tie beyond them. But a 2-1 sends it to penalties. Yes, please.
Who knows? We'll have to find out whether that happens or not. Thank you, Kale. That is the Ajax-Lille game. As I said, on paper, that one looks like a fantastic match to watch. And then, of course, there was one game last week which didn't actually look that good on paper. Turned out to be the best match of the tournament so far. It was Rangers against Antwerp. Now, 7 goals last time. A goalkeeper getting injured. A red card. Quite a dramatic match on paper. Now, Kieran's giving me the middle finger, but I didn't go and injure Veer and Van. You've got to blame the player who did that. But I'm going to bring Adam onto the screen. First of all, how are you doing, Adam?
Very good, thank you, Josh. How are you?
Good. I'm not doing too bad. Second of all, do you think this match is going to live up to the hype that it did in the first leg?
I don't think it will, but you know what? I called for I think it was a 1-0 last week or something, so you never know. But
you never know.
I can't see there being two very high scoring legs, to be honest.
I mean, if we could get another high scoring leg, then I think there'll be a lot of neutral fans who'd be delighted to watch this game. As you see on the screen, 4-3-3 tonight for Rangers. McGregor in goal, back forward, Badasic, Goldson, Helander and Balogun. Midfield three of Aribo, Stephen Davis and Glenn Kamara. And then up top, Ryan Kent-Morelos and Ioannis Hadji. And then Antwerp going with a 3-5-2, same formation they used last time. De Wolf is in goal, of course, Bean Van injured in that last match. And of course, I think he was sent off, wasn't he, as well? No, he wasn't even he was sent off. Sorry, he got the injury and then was subbed off. Lamarchand, Gellin and Richie DeLate at the back three. Midfield five, John Lukaku, Hongler, Verstraete, Gerkens and Buta. And then up top is Lamkelze and Rafalov, of course, who scored a penalty early into the first half of action. Should be a good game tonight. What's your prediction for the score, Adam?
I'm going for 1-0 Rangers. It's a big night for him to honest get into the next round, so I'm saying 1-0.
1-0. Interesting scoreline. Thank you very much, Adam. We will bring Adam back in a little bit as the games are about to kick off in a moment's time. So before we do kick off, of course, let's talk about another one of the games tonight. Villarreal taking on Salzburg. Now, Salzburg, one of those teams where we've said before, kind of a hipster side in Europe. People love to watch them because of the beautiful attacking football that they've got. Now, currently, as it stands in this game, Villarreal 2-0 up on aggregate, probably looking one of the best sides, if not the best side in the Europa League so far in terms of the standards of their performances. But he watched this game last week. KD's with me in the building right now. Kieran, first of all, do you think Salzburg have any chance at a comeback? I think he might be on mute.
I was on mute. Thank you very much for that, Josh. Yeah, of course, there's a chance of a comeback. They're only 2 goals down, of course, but the real problem will be the first goal. If Villarreal grab that first goal, it's probably looking tie over. Salzburg will need 4 away from home as well. It's not going to be easy for them. Of course, the experience of Villarreal kind of carried them through that game last week, and I expect it to do the same today. I expect it to be a hard game for Salzburg. But if they win, absolute props to them.
Absolutely, and it's detrimental that they get the first goal of the night. And to be honest, they just need to keep a clean sheet as well. And when we look at the two lineups, both teams going for a 4-4-2 today. Let's start with Villarreal. Geronimo Rulli is in goal. Back four, Pedraza, Pau Torres, Raul Albiol, and Jean Costa. Midfield 4 of Pervis Estupinan, former Watford player, of course. Danny Parejo, Etienne Capoue, another former Watford player. And Manu Trigueros on the left-hand side. Up top, the ever-present front two of Gerard Moreno and Paco Alcacer. And then up top for Salzburg, in fact, let's start from the bottom, it's probably easier. Sisan Stankovic is in goal for Salzburg. Back four of Ulmer, Velci, Ramalho and Christensen, with a midfield 4 of Brendan Aronson, well worth checking him out, quite a good youngster for the future he is. Benede, another one of the good youngsters, French midfielder, alongside Zlatko, Junuzovic and Mwepu. And then up top is Patson Daka and Berisha. Tough ask tonight, Kieran, for Villarreal to get anything from this game. But what is the key aspect for them that they need to improve on from that first leg if they have any chance of getting anything? He's gone very quiet again. Are you on mute again?
No, I think I might be lagging.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll bring you back when the goals go in to save you with the internet problems, just in case there is. But that is the game. You're very welcome. That is the game between Villarreal and Salzburg, of course. Hopefully we don't have no internet problems tonight with KD. Fingers crossed at some point we can, of course, get him on. And then Will isn't actually going to be joined. Unless you want to join me with the Arsenal game, Will actually can't find his game right now, which is a real shame for him. So Will was originally going to watch the Maccabi Tel Aviv Shakhtar match, but he's having a few issues tonight. Seems to be issues everywhere. It's a nightmare for us. But let's have a look at the lineups of those teams. While we do start, of course, we've got kickoff for some of these games tonight. 4-2-3-1 for Shakhtar Donetsk. Trubin in goal. Back four of Mativenko, Vitar Krychvishov, and Dodo. Defensive midfield 2 of Maicon and Alan Patrick. And then an ever-present front 4. You've got Tyson on the left, Manos Solomon on the right, Marlos in the middle, and Juri Moraes up top. 4-3-3 today for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Detrimental that they get the first goal in that match, of course, being 2-0 down on aggregate. Tenenbaum is in goal. Sabrit, Tibi, Hernandez, and Andre Graulesh make up the back 4. Galassa, Glazer, and Perez in the midfield 3. And then up top is Ben Chaim, Pesic, and Joses. So very similar lineup to what they actually started with last week in the game against Shakhtar. So massive game for them tonight. As I said, they've got to go out there and get the first goal in that match, or else it's going to be a very, very pressured situation. Of course, I've got the game between Arsenal and Benfica. Of course, this one was a real shit show last time. Let's hope it's a better game. It's going to be a 3-5, technically 1-1 on paper for Benfica. Diogo Leito played actually quite well in the last match. He's in goal today. Back three, once again, same back three as last week. Vertonghen, Otamendi, and Verissimo at the back three tonight. Midfield five, we've got playing as a left back / left mid, Alex Grimaldo. Right hand side is Diogo Gonçalves, with the midfield three of Rafa Silva, Julian Weigl, and Adel Taarabt. Pizzi's playing as a cam, and then up top on his own is Seferovic. Now, there's multiple ways that team could be played on paper. Rafa Silva and Pizzi could technically both be classed as wingers. It could be a five at the back if he wants. It's a very fluid formation. But either way, they're going quite attacking tonight, Benfica, which is going to be interesting to see if they can get any goals in that one. And then Arsenal going with a 4-3-3 today. Leno is in goal. Back four of Tierney, Gabriel, David Luiz, and Hector Bellerin. Midfield three of Odegaard, Xhaka, Ceballos, and then up top is Saka, Aubameyang, and Emile Smith-Rowe. There was, of course, a slight change of the system. Aubameyang having to, Tierney having to come in for Cedric because of an injury. We'll come back to the lineups in a second, though, because as I said, we've got some big games going on tonight, and we've already had the first chance of the night in the game between Ajax and Lille. We said before, Lille need to get off on the right foot here and make sure that Ajax don't score first. But who's had the first chance of the night, Kieran?
Well, it was Lille with the first chance, and the left winger trying to link up with Timothy Weah up front. He played the through ball through. Stecklenburg was out at his feet really well, and he parried it out of the path of Timothy Weah, but onto the edge of the box where Xhaka was waiting. He hits it, and it's blocked off the line by the defender. Sadly, it was Xhaka and not Xhaka, because it would have been in, of course, Josh, if it was the better of the midfielders.
Of course, which is why he's probably going to score tonight for Arsenal. We'll have to see what happens there. Thank you very much, Kieran. 0-0 as it currently stands in that game. As I said before, we've got some other games tonight that aren't being covered. And in fact, we've already had a goal in one of them tonight. And there's something telling me to just turn this game off and go to the other one, because there's been a goal for Napoli 3 minutes into that game against Granada. They were 2-0 down in that match. They've just made it 2-1 in that game. Of course, it's quite crucial tonight for Napoli to minimum score 2 goals to take that game to extra time. If not, 3 goals will be enough to win it, as long as Granada don't go on and score any more goals in that game. So I am just going to add that one to the screen for you so you can see the actual aggregate score of that game, because as it currently stands, 2-1 on aggregate to Granada. They scored 2 pretty quick-fire goals, actually, last week. One of them being scored by Yangel Herrera and another one being scored by Kennedy. But we do need to see a few more goals from Napoli tonight if they want to go through in the end. Cal's in the building. How are you doing, buddy? Says, hey all, how are we? We'll be watching the Arsenal-Benfica game, and I'm really excited. I can't wait. Hopefully, it's better, because we said before the first leg was a little bit disappointing, a little bit frustrating to watch. But we've always said in the past, first legs don't tend to be the greatest of games in the world. You always get better second legs, and both teams not being in their home stadium. Me and Kyle, we had that debate, of course, beforehand about how this game is going to pan out. You would expect both teams to go into this game and really go for it tonight. There's nothing to lose, and it pretty much, with the way that the game is panned out right now, is pretty much a 90-minute shootout, isn't it, really, for who goes through? So an interesting game overall, this one. And then Kyle did say, did you hear about Alisson Becker's dad passing away in a tragic accident? I did indeed. Really sad one. Only 57. My thoughts and well wishes go out to him and his family. And hopefully, of course, Alisson Becker is okay. Thoughts and prayers with him and his family, as always. But back to the games. The games I'm going to be keeping my eyes out on tonight. Of course, we've got that game between Hoffenheim and Molde, which is going on as well. But let's go over to KD, because we've had a chance early on in the game between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg. 0-0 as it currently stands in this one. 2-0 on aggregate to Villarreal. Who's had the first chance of the night?
It's Red Bull No, it's not Red Bull Leipzig, Josh. It's Red Bull Salzburg who had the first chance of the night. They've started off really well. The energy's high. They're getting in behind a lot more than they were last week. And the first chance fell to Berisha after Daka did a nice bit of work to win the ball back from Estupin and just puts it back to Berisha, edge of the area, had the shot, and it's blocked on the line by Villarreal. And it would have been a very good start for Salzburg, but still 0-0 as it stands.
Very good start indeed. Thank you very much, KD. Greatly appreciate 0-0 as it currently stands in that game. I'm going to do the world a favour here. I'm going to go and download BT while we're going on. I am going to stick on that Napoli game as well, so I can update you with both games at once, assuming Rowan isn't on our BT. And I will get that up for you. So we've got 2 games going on, I believe, at once here. I'm going to keep up to date with the Napoli game and also the Arsenal one, so I can keep us fairly up to date with those. But as I said, to give you a quick update of which games we're covering tonight and the ones I'm going to keep my close eye out on. Rangers Royal Antwerp is covered by Adam tonight. That one's 4-3 in aggregate. What a game of football that was. A real dramatic match in the first leg. Lots of action there. Arsenal Benfica currently sat at not 0-0 in aggregate. Let me change that. It's actually 1-1. Should probably get my aggregate scores right first. There we go. 1-1 in that game. Wasn't the most entertaining of fixtures in the world. But the good news is it is a well and truly open affair. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down. And in fact, big chance here for Arsenal to come forward. Ball played towards Aubameyang. Doesn't get towards him in the end, and it's a big chance that's gone wide. But yeah, we should hopefully have a few more goals tonight because Ajax Lille being covered by KL. That's an interesting game there. 2-1 on aggregate to Ajax as it currently stands in that game. Lille looking to fight back very quickly in that one as I'm trying to desperately sprawl to get into my BT. Shakhtar Donetsk Maccabi Tel Aviv was going to be covered by Will, but he's not being able to get in. So hopefully I can keep with that one. Napoli Granada, we've already had a goal in that one. 1-0 to Napoli in that game. Goal in that match going to Piotr Zielinski. And then Villarreal 0, Red Bull Salzburg 0. But we've had a goal. And of course, there was only going to be one game tonight where it was going to be set to be a thriller, wasn't it? Rangers Royal Antwerp, as it currently stands, 4-3 in aggregate on this one. Royal Antwerp desperately need the first goal of the night, but the question is, Adam, have they bagged first, or have Rangers taken a 2-goal lead?
It's 1-0 to Rangers.
1-0. Who scored?
Morelos. Ryan Kent looked lively, to be fair. He's looked lively so far in the game. He took the ball off one of the Antwerp defenders. The keeper came running out, and he just squared it to Morelos to tap in an open goal.
Big chance in the game. And now in a situation like this, you start the match and you see 4-3 scoreline. Is 5-3 now quite hard for Antwerp to come back?
It is, especially with the 4 away goals that Rangers have as well. I think they'll have to score 3 now. Well, Antwerp right there. So it's a big task for him to come back into the game, yeah.
It's a massive task indeed. Thank you very much, Adam. Greatly appreciated, buddies. It currently stands. That game is at 5-3. Let me take you off the screen. There we go. And Rangers now looking a little bit more comfortable, you have to admit, in terms of going through to the next round of the Europa League. I very nearly accidentally said the Champions League, but that might be something Rangers fans will be optimistic about next season as they push towards winning the Scottish League fairly quickly. I mean, what a start they've had to life this season in the league. I mean, I'm saying start to life, but the season's pretty much nearly done and dusted, isn't it, with how everything's panned out so far? I just realised, actually, I can't put the other game on, but I will keep you up to date with it either way. What I am going to try and do is get another streamer on the side so I can actually access 2 games on at once. So if it is a little bit further behind, then I can actually see some of the goals that do go in across the board tonight. But as I said, we've had 2 early goals. First goal of the night going to Napoli against Granada. That one's 2-1 on aggregate still to Granada. One more goal would be enough for Napoli to go through. Not to go through. It would be enough to go to extra time in that game. But if Granada score, it's going to make things a lot harder for Napoli to go through. And then Rangers, of course, the barnstormer of a match that was in the first leg. 5-3 now on aggregate to Rangers. I'm going to stop for a second here because Benfica coming forward. Ball from Pizzi. Trying to lay it into the path of Seferovic, and it's cleared in the end by David Luiz, and it's the first real big chance of the match for Benfica. But how are we doing? Hope you're good. Daz in the stream says, evening, Josh. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing fantastically well, thank you very much. That'll probably change in 90 minutes, depending on what happens in this game tonight, but I'm doing very good so far. And then Jeff does Dadab. Of course, I'm guessing you're a Rangers fan tonight. How are you doing? But he says, goal Morelos. What's your prediction? I'm going to say with that Rangers game, I think me and Kale were saying before, actually, we don't think that one's going to live up to the hype of the other match. I'm going to say probably 4-1 Rangers. I do think they'll batter them tonight. I'm not going to lie. I'd be very surprised if Antwerp go out there and put a dominative performance in tonight. KD's just said Unai Emery's looking dapper tonight. What's he wearing, KD? Is he coming with the waistcoat? Is he coming with a suit and tie, or is he in... is he in it? I was going to say, is he in a jacket, jumper? I don't know what Unai Emery wears these days. He's one of those, isn't he? He's like Pep Guardiola, who does change up all the time his attire. And then Carlos put, if the Rangers-Antwerp game finishes a high score again, I'll be fuming. It wasn't on free-to-air TV. What's on free-to-air TV tonight then, Carl? I'd assume it's the Arsenal game, I'm guessing. Jeff Duzadab agrees with that. Who knows? Should be a good game, that one overall, I think. And then KD's put, apparently he's got slick back hair with glasses with usual black attire. So to me, that sounds like he's one of the Kingsmen from the film. He's got quite the attire going on tonight. He's looking like Taron Egerton, is he, on the touchline? But still 0-0 in that one, 2-0 on aggregate to Villarreal. But the other games, what I were talking about earlier, the other games that we're not covering tonight, specifically as such, the first game of those on the list was the Hoffenheim match. Now, you might have not seen with the Hoffenheim game, this one was quite an incredible match. Ended 3-3 on aggregate after the first leg. Will probably won't want to be reminded of this because it was quite frustrating for him. But Israeli player Munas de Boer had 2 opportunities to bag a hat-trick. One of the goals he scored was offside. Another one of the goals was actually just discounted, I think, in the end. And he missed a penalty, so he could have had a hat-trick quite a few times in the match. Didn't get it in the end. A mould 3-3 in that game, looking fairly confident. And tough task for them tonight, of course, going to Germany and trying to get a result there. So that one is a fairly interesting game indeed. And Will says he might have got the Fire Stick working. So he might have a game in the next 5 to 10 minutes, which is big dubs. He's working hard in the background to try and get a match on in the meantime. So hopefully we should have Will involved at some point with one of the games tonight. So that is the Hoffenheim mould game. As I said, that one is a fairly interesting match to look at on paper, purely because of how Hoffenheim have had a pretty shocking start to the season so far. They've struggled a lot recently to go out there and get results in the Bundesliga. In fact, they're quite far down the table as it currently stands to where you would usually expect them to be. But that one at 3-3 should be a good match. And, well, if Mould get the first goal in the game, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Hoffenheim, even though they did score 3 goals away from home. And then Kyle's put in the chat, of course, saying hi to Daz. Hope you're good as always, Daz. And then Daz was saying MVG got beat. He did. He got beat by a 19-year-old. I was watching it this morning. Everybody's been knocked out. Price has been knocked out. Wright's been knocked out. Gary Anderson's out. Mad day in the Super Series so far, but always an interesting competition, that one. Very interesting indeed. But so far, 2 goals on the night. And let's talk about this game very quickly because we have had a few little moments in this game. Arsenal-Benfica, good start to this match. Not really much going on. I would say Benfica being the better of the 2 sides so far. Seferovic and Pizzi looking fairly dangerous, but not really much yet. And this one's a bit of a slow burner, as you would expect. But it's not a slow burner in the match between Ajax and Lille. We said in this game, Lille needed to get the first goal of the match to have any hopes of going through. If Ajax get the first goal, it's going to be tricky for them to get through. The question is, who's had the first goal of the night, Kieran?
It's Ajax, and it is an uphill battle for LOSC Lille. But there's a lot of confusion here, Josh, I'll be honest with you. You know, usually there's a bit of reaction when a goal goes in. There's a free kick given for Thiago Jallo's tackle on David Neres. And then it looks like they're going for a fake, you know, a man runs up to the ball, fakes to hit it, and then kind of jogs back. But then there's a Lille player on the deck, in the box, but the ref never blows his whistle. So everyone's looking at the man on the floor. And then the cross comes in, and Klaassen heads into the top corner unmarked. Mainan gets a yellow card for his complaint, and they've gone to check the VAR. The Lille player just slips. So I don't understand what they were trying to appeal for. Lots of confusion because he was just literally lay stark on the floor. No idea, but if you're Lille, you've got to keep your concentration in them sort of moments. And now, if Lille need to get minimum 2 to take this just to extra time.
Might not get the penalties that you wanted in the end, Kieran, sadly.
Yeah. Well, look, we needed an Ajax goal to go to penalties, so we're 1/3 of the way there. Come on.
You never know. Thank you very much, Kale. Ajax with a 1-0 lead in that second leg of the match, which means, as Kale perfectly said, Lille have got some work to do. They're 3-1 down, and they're going to have quite an incredible comeback if there's any hopes of even taking that to extra time. We need 2 goals minimum away for Lille. Tough job, but they've got quite an attacking side tonight, so you would expect them to come forward and really give it their best shot. Who knows with that one? But we're going over to KD. I see there's capital letters in that private chat. He's screaming goal. So surely we've got a big moment in this game. Villarreal, they're 2-0 down on aggregate themselves today. They need a goal. Not Villarreal, sorry. Red Bull Salzburg 2-0 down on aggregate. They need a goal desperately in this match. Have they got that goal, Kieran?
Yeah, and it's an absolute calamity from Geronimo Rulli. is absolute gift for Salzburg, and his pass out goes straight to Daka, puts it along the deck, and Berisha has a tap in. He should have scored early. He's now scored now. Game on. Very excited, Josh. I'm very excited.
Turns the game completely on its head. Thank you very much, KD. They're back in it, Salzburg, and they are the masters of the comeback. Now, I didn't even realise I put a bet on yesterday, and I'm hoping for goals everywhere. I'm hoping for 2 goals from Ajax and Lille. I'm hoping for 2 goals from the Rangers game, and I stupidly put Arsenal Benfica on. I should slap myself silly. 1-0 in that Red Bull Salzburg game as it stands, 2-1 on aggregate. We could be potentially in for a barnstormer of a match, and we could be in for a barnstormer of a match elsewhere because we've had a goal. But where have we had the goal? That's the question. It's not in one of the games that we're watching tonight. Goal for Mold. It's 4-3 in that match. That's right, the Norwegian side, who I think a lot of people didn't expect to really do much in this competition, or, well, you'd have probably assumed them to be knocked out fairly quickly. They are putting in an absolute fight tonight against Hoffenheim, and in fact, they made it 4-3 in this game, and I'm going to try and find out who the goal scorer is in just a moment's time, because we're going to go over to KD. There's been a chance in his game, big capital letters. Who's had the chance? Drama. KD, take it away.
Oh my God, what a chance for Salzburg to make it 2-2 almost instantly. As a cross put in and Daka chests it down, he's about 7 or 8 yards out, goes for the Olivier Giroud overhead kick, and it must have been inches over the crossbar. Oh my God, I almost screamed.
Never be as good as Giroud. Never be as good as him. Thank you very much, KD. Well, that game is exciting now. 1-0 as it currently stands to Red Bull Salzburg in that match. 1 more goal in that game will be enough to make that one fairly more interesting. We'll, of course, have to find out what happens there. And then KL, we've had a chance in this game. Ajax, Lille. Ajax getting a nice early goal in this one. Lille have got an attacking side tonight. They're going to have to push numbers forward in this game. Who's had the chance, Kieran?
It was Lille, and this was the perfect chance to get level. Lovely ball played forward by the centre-halves. A flick by Yazici. Flicked on one more by Ikone. And Timothy Weah opens his body up beautifully to bend it into the bottom right corner. I'm just waiting it to rustle the net. And all it does is rustle the billboard behind the goal. It should have been 1-1. But I know there's been a goal in your game because thanks to BT Mobile app.
They have indeed. There's been a goal. Not much of a celebration because literally I'd just gone to check something and the goal had been kind of spoiled. Anyway, it's a great finish in the end. Lovely ball from Bukayo Saka. It is a defence-splitting ball, intricately put into the path of the Gabonese forward, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I wouldn't necessarily say, when looking at the replay, he's pretty much one-on-one with the keeper. Leite dives down low. He chips him. It's a brilliant goal. And it's 1-0 Arsenal. Opens this game up. But 1-0 in yours as well.
Yeah, and Josh, you only need 1 more goal for a bit of extra time. I'm praying for extra time, Josh, is what I'm doing. Come on.
Well, right now, as it currently stands, bet-wise, I've had a look. I put these bets on yesterday. I need both teams to score in both halves of Hoffenheim Mold, Napoli Granada. There's goals in that one already, so quite excited there. And then both teams to score in both halves of, I think, another game where Arsenal's in it. So I'm happy right now.
There you go.
I'm buzzing.
You're almost there.
Nearly there. Thank you very much, Kale. 1-0 as it stands in that match between Ajax and Lille. We're getting goals tonight. That's what you want. You want goals in these games. Put early pressure on some of these sides. And let's just quickly go through all of the games and where the goals are currently at right now, because we had a goal, as I said, in the Arsenal-Benfica match. Not the celebration you expected from me, but it kind of got spoilt for me anyway, because I saw it a little bit before the goal had actually even gone in on my behalf. But it's 1-0 there. Arsenal taking the lead in this match. There was a VAR check to see whether Aubameyang was onside or not, but he is onside. But we're going to go over to Will. There's a chance for Will. What game is he watching? Who's had the chance?
I've managed to get the Shakhtar game up and running, and I looked at the stats beforehand, and to be honest, I've not missed much. I mean, Maccabi yet to have a shot, but the chances for Shakhtar, surprise, surprise, and it's Tyson again. Who I've only watched the game for about 5 minutes, but he's already been causing havoc on the left hand side. He has a shot with his left foot. It's a phenomenal save from the goalkeeper that, as we know, he's just called Daniel. And the rebound is blasted over the bar by Matvienko, the left back, who had a phenomenal game in the first leg. But yeah, we're about 20 minutes into this game. It's been all Shakhtar based on the stats of what I've seen so far. But yeah, we'll see if Maccabi can get that next goal and maybe make the tie interesting.
Thank you very much. Well, this man is dedicated to the sport. He's worked hard to get that bloody box working so he could watch Shakhtar Donetsk, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and he's got it working. We love to see the dedication from Will there. 0-0 as it currently stands in that game, but 2-0 on aggregate to Shakhtar. That was quite an interesting game, actually, the first leg. Lots of action, but so far no goals in that one. And then we're going to go over to KD because there's been another chance in his game. This one is really, really wide open. Who's had the chance, KD?
It should be 2-2, Josh. Patson Daka, I mean, he's on the stretch, but it's such a good run from Enoch Mwepu. Takes it past about 3 players outside of his right foot, sticks one across the box, and Patson Daka stretching just poked it past the post. And then Enoch Mwepu had a chance of his own, which was given for a free kick. Berisha's got a free kick now. It's over the wall, and Rulli was tested, but still 1-0. But Salzburg, they're getting back into this, Josh.
They are indeed. What a game this could be. We were saying before we went live a few years ago, Salzburg found themselves 4-1 down against Lazio, came back, so 2-0. Doesn't sound like much of a real comeback for Salzburg, does it, Kieran?
No, and they're massively on top right now. I mean, I don't know what's happened to Villarreal. They haven't got out of the stalls at all. But, I mean, Salzburg need to take advantage while they're on top and get this second goal quickly.
They absolutely do indeed. Thank you very much, KD. 1-0 as it stands to Salzburg, 2-1 on aggregate. This looks like it's going to be the game to watch tonight, depending on what happens here. And talking about tonight, we've got plenty more games to come this evening. Do not go anywhere because we will be continuing on a little goal show tonight as well. We're pretty much all going to be sticking around afterwards. There's some big games tonight. So the two main matches that are going to be covered, KD is going to be watching United Sociedad. Of course, that game looks pretty much done and dusted. Real Sociedad, well, would probably need the game of their life if they wanted to get anything from that match. 4-0 as it currently stands on aggregate to Manchester United there. And then, of course, Rowan is going to be covering Leicester City, Slavia Prague, 0-0 on aggregate. That one is completely wide open. Winner takes all in that 90-minute affair. And then we'll have a few other games we're going to be covering tonight. A little goal show in between. I'll be watching PSV Olympiacos. KL is going to be watching Milan, Red Star Belgrade. No, he's not. He's going to be watching the club, not Club Bruges. Yeah, it is the Bruges Kiev game he's going to be watching in the end. And then Will is going to be watching the Milan Red Star Belgrade game. And then a couple of others on the background as well. We'll keep you up to date with the Leverkusen game against Young Boys and Zagreb against Krasnodar. So if you are looking for a bit more Europa League content tonight, then do stick around because Rowan and KD are going to be kind of co-hosting together tonight with me, Cal, and Will in the background from about 8 o'clock. So lots of drama to still come. And talking about drama, we've had a chance in the game between Shakhtar Donetsk and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Who's had the chance this time, Will?
Another chance for Shakhtar, and again, it probably should be another goal. It's Alan Patrick who picks up in the middle. In the first leg, he was very influential, just spraying balls across. And this chance comes from another pass from him where he sprayed out to the right to Manor Solomon. Manor cuts inside, plays a lovely 1-2 with Marlos. Marlos eventually gets it back on the deflection, and a left foot shot just goes wide of the post. But Shakhtar just got too many good players going forward. I can't. They're going to score eventually. And Maccabi Tel Aviv again, much like the first leg, they've posed no threat up front, and I just can't see how they get back into the tie. But again, we never know. The Europa League is a crazy competition, so we'll have to wait and see.
Is indeed. Who knows what's going to happen there? Thank you very much, Will. As it stands 0-0 in that one between Shakhtar Donetsk and Maccabi Tel Aviv, 2-0 on aggregate, to the Ukrainian side. Let's have a look at some of your comments because it has been a fair few minutes, lots of moments going on in the background. Daz did put, what's your Arsenal prediction, Josh? Now, obviously, I've got to factor in there's been a goal in between the time you put a message in and me actually seeing it. I think this game is going to be 2-2, which would take us, I think, into... No, it wouldn't. I think Benfica would actually go through in the end. So it's quite an interesting game on paper, this one. But I think there's a long way to go in this match. Both teams are going to go for it. Winner takes all. And then Jeff does the dab. Did put Morelos is injured, but he's okay. He's all right and back up on his feet, which is good to see. And then Tubbs was saying going solo. No, I'm solo for now. But when there's loads of chances going in, it makes my life so much easier because we've had lots of chances so far. And more importantly, we've had a fair few goals in the opening 20 minutes, 30 minutes of action tonight. There, in fact, has been a goal everywhere, apart from the Shakhtar Donetsk Maccabi Tel Aviv match. Rangers, as it stands, 1-0 up against Antwerp. That one's 5-3 on aggregate. The early goal in that game coming from Alfredo Morelos in the 9th minute. Arsenal against Benfica, we had that gool quite recently from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. That was in the 21st minute. Lovely chip over the path of the goalkeeper, Diogo Leite. Ajax 1-0 up against Lille. The early goal in that game, courtesy of Davy Klaassen in the 15th minute. Good goal, of course, the former Ajax man coming back at the beginning of the season and doing his old club, or technically current club, a big, massive favour in the Europa League as they look to push on. Of course, we haven't had any goals yet in the Shakhtar game, but we have had a goal in the Napoli-Granada match. That is, as it stands, 1-0. And in fact, just talking about that, there's been a goal. It is now 1-1. And just as you thought, there was a chance for Napoli to come back in this game. Granada have got the important away goal that they so desperately craved. And that goal literally coming a minute ago, courtesy of their, I think, club captain, Angel Montero, in the 25th minute, has got Granada 1-1 in that game. And it now means that Napoli are going to have to score 3 goals if they want to go through tonight. So it's looking pretty much like Granada are about to knock one of Europe's big boys out in the Europa League. What a big goal that is indeed for the Spanish side. I think there's a long way to go in that game, though, depending on what happens. But that is 1-1 there. It's 1-0 to Red Bull Salzburg in their game against Villarreal. Nice early goal in that one in the 17th minute from Mergin Berisha, which means that Red Bull Salzburg, if they can get another goal in that game, we might even have extra time and /all penalties on the cards in that match, which if we do, would no doubt keep you up to date with that when we go into the 8 o'clock kickoffs tonight. And then we've had a goal in that Mold game, as we said before. Mold leading against Hoffenheim. This could be quite a big shock tonight if the Norwegian side make it through. They scored in the 19th minute. Erik Ullen Andersen with a goal. Their only shot of the game so far. Hoffenheim dominating them in the match, but they are certainly giving a Europa League shithouse performance at very best. So 1-0 in that game, 4-3 on aggregate. A lot of work to do for Hoffenheim if they want to go through to the next round of the competition. Tubsane doing well, lads. Been very busy lately. It's been very busy indeed. There's so much action going on. There's still a lot more watch-alongs to come in the next few weeks. Of course, we'll advertise those at half-time as always. But we had a chance in the game between Ajax and Lille. I saw for a moment, Kieran, and I don't know whether it was because of the chance you had, that the mouth was open for a second. There was a bit of shock.
Yeah, there was, and it was a lovely 1-2 on the edge of the box between Gravenberch and Tadic, and it was a perfectly weighted through ball to Gravenberch, who's one-on-one with Mainan, and he goes to chip it over him, and it's one of them where the keeper gets a hand to it, but it's slowly trickling towards goal, and then it's cleared just before it can go over the line. Both players down injured. I think they'll be okay, but I'll just keep you updated just in case. But real good chance for Ajax, and don't get me wrong, Lille have had their fair share of chances. A really enjoyable game to watch so far, but Lille need to get on the score sheet soon.
They do indeed. Thank you very much, Kale. They don't just need to get on the score sheet for the sake of the match. They need to get on the score sheet for the sake of my bet. We've had goals in every game tonight so far. Of course, Napoli and Granada, 1-1 as it currently stands. That's the best game of the night in terms of the amount of goals we've had. 3-1 on aggregate there. But let's quickly talk about some of the other games tonight going on in the background. So this is how everything is looking in this evening's games from 8 o'clock. You might be able to see, of course, we spoke about the United game earlier being 4-0 to the Premier League side. Real Sociedad got a lot of work to do tonight if they want to produce what would be one of the best comebacks surely ever in the Europa League. But a couple of the other big games going on. PSV taking on Olympiacos. That game is going to be one to watch. I'm going to be watching that tonight. So I will be keeping you up to date with that, with our little goals show. So Rowan will be dropping the likes of me and KL and Will in and out of the stream. But that one's one to watch. Olympiacos tend to do very well in the Europa League, but PSV having the home advantage, you would expect that game to not be done and dusted yet. So that's one of the matches to look forward to tonight. But we're going over to Adam. We've had a goal yet again. Rangers taking on Royal Antwerp tonight. Adam, for my sake, tell me this is a Royal Antwerp goal, because I am one goal away potentially from quite a bit of money.
It is, Josh.
Yes, come on.
It's Jordan Lukaku cross into Ravelov, just took it away nicely, little chip into the corner. Nice goal. 1-1 makes it interesting to be fair, and good for you as well.
Oh, massive for me. I mean, 5-4 on aggregate now.
Yeah.
This game is...
Is
he shaping up to be what it was last time?
It is, yeah. I mean, Antwerp haven't been great. Like, they don't look anything like how good they were last week, but the goal kind of was against the run of play. But now you never know again. It could be another good game. Hope so.
Could be another good game indeed. Thank you very much, Adam. Rangers 1, Royal Antwerp 1, 5-4 on aggregate now. This game has got a long, long way to go as it currently stands. 9 goals between the two matches so far, and expect lots more drama to come depending on what happens tonight. Antwerp only need one more goal in this game, and it makes things certainly more interesting. Yes, they wouldn't lead because Rangers have scored more away goals, but make it 5-5. They don't need one more goal to actually go through to the next round. So lots of drama there in terms of that match so far. And of course, lots of drama going on in that game between Napoli and Granada. As I said before, Napoli took an early lead in that game. Piotr Zielinski in the 4th minute, giving Napoli that all-important early goal that they desperately craved. But Granada scoring courtesy of Angel Montoro just a few minutes ago means that Granada are looking safe to potentially go through to the next round. As we just had a big moment in this game between Arsenal and Benfica. And when it's a ball from Diogo Gonçalves that was put into the box a few moments ago, really good cross from the young Portuguese midfielder. It comes into the path of former Tottenham player Jan Vertonghen, who would have liked to have put that ball into the back of the net and get a goal against his former London rivals. His head is just a little bit too high, and Bernd Leno doesn't have to make a save at the end. But good chance for Benfica, and a little improvement because so far they've not necessarily done a great deal in this match to be able to go on and get something. Now, Kieran's asked me in the chat, what do I need for my bet tonight? Now, I'm pretty sure as it currently stands, I've got Rangers Antwerp, both teams to score in both halves. I think I've got Granada Napoli, both teams to score in both halves, which of course we know now those have both scored. And then I think it's Ajax Lille, both teams to score in both halves. Now, if all three of those happen, that's 1.2k in the bank. So a lot of cash on the line, but I need a goal in that Ajax Lille game to get me remotely excited. And then I think on another bet, I have got Arsenal Benfica somewhere. So I do need Arsenal Benfica to score. Specifically, I need Benfica to score at some point. So that Jan Vertonghen goal would have been, or chance at the very least, would have been very, very nice indeed. But lots of games still to come. As I said, let's quickly go on and talk about those 5:55 games again, because we've got a real good game tonight between AC Milan and Red Star Belgrade. And if you didn't see this match last week, it was a bonkers game of football. Not necessarily in terms of the scoreline, but with what happened. Red Star Belgrade at home, with, I think, a few of their fans there. So quite an interesting atmosphere for AC Milan to go to. And Red Star Belgrade, they were down to 10 men, I think, for about 35, 40 minutes. And in the 94th minute of that match, got an equaliser in the game, hence why we're sat at 2-2. And that will, depending on what happens, might be one of Red Star Belgrade's best results, depending on what goes along tonight when they face Milan in Italy. That game at 2-2. The best match, I think, of the 8 o'clock kickoffs last week has to be Leverkusen Young Boys. I think everybody expected Leverkusen to trounce the Swiss side, and they did certainly quite the job. 3 away goals for Leverkusen, but 4 goals against Leverkusen is no mean feat, regardless of whether you've scored them home or away. And I think a lot of people tonight will expect this side to go on and lose the match. I think there'll be a lot of people thinking Young Boys will go on and probably disappoint tonight, but with their Leverkusen have been, anything can happen. European nights are special indeed. And then another game I think that'll go under the radar tonight, Zagreb Krasnodar. Not the most appealing looking games in the world of football. 3-2 on aggregate as it currently stands, this one. But I think this might be the game of the night. And I really don't know why. 2 teams that will probably be thinking they're not necessarily going to go far in this competition when they do meet up with some of the bigger sides. But a game like this, I think, has a lot riding on the line. 3-2. Zagreb with 3 important away goals, which means Krasnodar are going to have to come out fighting. But I don't know. Something tells me that this game is going to be quite an interesting one to watch. So that is all of the games coming up tonight. There are a few other ones going on as well. Of course, Dynamo Kiev coming up against Club Brugge, which is one of those games that was played earlier last week. Hence why I don't think many people actually even realised that was going on in the background, because kickoff for that game last week, I think, was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Strange kickoff time, but that is another one of the extra games to keep your eyes out on tonight. But we'll move back to these games because we are still waiting for a few more goals as we head towards the final 5 minutes of action in the first half. And let's just quickly go through the scorelines once again. Rangers 1, Antwerp won. That one's looking set to be yet again another fairly interesting game tonight with the way things have panned out. 5-4 on aggregate, that one is, as it currently stands. We've got the Arsenal game I'm watching right now. Arsenal doing very well indeed, dominating in this match so far. 2-1 on aggregate to them. And the Premier League side looking very likely, with the way that things are looking so far, of maybe going through to the next round, considering the first leg was pretty poor to watch. Ajax 1-0. Ajax in the driving seat to potentially go on and win this game. They are going to have to collapse massively for Lille to get anything in that match. 2 goals would be enough to take us to extra time in that game. 3 goals for Lille would go on and win it. No goals yet for Shakhtar Donetsk, Maccabi Tel Aviv. So I guess even with the 15 minutes that Will missed, he's not really missed anything so far. Napoli 1, Granada 1, 3-1 on aggregate to Granada. Napoli scored first in that match. The belief must have been there for the Italians, but Granada in the 25th minute got a goal back in that game, and now it's looking pretty likely that the Spanish side are going to go through to the next round with that all-important away goal. This is an interesting one. Villarreal 0, Red Bull Salzburg 1. They are the master of the comeback sometimes, the Austrian team. Are they about to make another Europa League comeback again? It's 2-1 as it stands in that game. 1 goal would be enough to take that game into extra time and maybe even penalties. And then probably the shock result of the night so far. 1-0 Mold against Hoffenheim. Bundesliga club not doing very well in the league so far. And it looks like they're not going to be doing very well in the Europa League because it's 4-3 to Mold. They've got that important away goal. Although Hoffenheim, if they do score again, it will put them in a good position to take this game maybe to extra time or penalties. I think there's a long, long way to go in that match. They have been battering the Norwegian side so far. Let me get the stats up for that game because they have dominated for large periods of play. In fact, they've had 15 shots, 4 on target, 70% possession in comparison to Mold's 1 shot, 1 on target, which has ended up in a goal. So it's kind of a football manager-esque game right now between Hoffenheim and Mold. 1-0 as it currently stands in that game. And Hoffenheim were 3-1 up. Yeah, well, they were 3-1 up, bottled it to drop it to 3-3. And that, of course, I'm not going to say is down to the fact De Boer didn't get his hat-trick in the end, but I think a large part of that might have been because De Boer didn't get his hat-trick and missed the penalty. So I'm not saying it's De Boer's fault. It's a team collective. But yeah, a lot on the line there right now for Mold, and specifically a lot on the line for Hoffenheim as well. But we're going over to KD. There's been a goal in that game between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg. Have Salzburg got the all-important goal they need to get back in this match, or are Villarreal back in the driving seat again?
We're not going to have extra time, Josh, because it is Villarreal 1, Red Bull Salzburg 1, and it's an absolute calamity at the back again. I mean, I don't know what both goalkeepers have had before this game tonight, but I mean, they're both at fault for both the goals. I mean, it's a long ball over the top. Moreno just holds it, flicks onto Alcacer, it was who holds it, flicks onto Moreno. Stankovic collides with his defender who's trying to stop the ball, and Moreno just slides it into an open net with about 3 or 4 Salzburg players scrambling to try to clear the ball. But I mean, it's just undone all that hard work that Salzburg have done, and now they need to get, 3 goals? 2 goals to go through still?
2 goals. It's a lot to ask. A lot to ask indeed. Thank you very much, KD. 1-1 in that game between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg, the Spanish team who've looked so consistent in this competition so far, looking like they might be about to go through to the next round and knock a pretty tough side, Red Bull Salzburg. Not the easiest team to come up against, regardless of whether they're playing truly good form or not. But who knows? No extra time. But we're going over to him. Now, the description I've had in the private chat is he's just put, what the fuck chance? What's gone on, Will, in this game?
I have no idea how on earth Maccabi Tel Aviv have not scored yet. What on earth have I just seen there? So the ball's whipped in. And to be honest, the last 5-10 minutes, they've been absolutely dominating this game. Maccabi Tel Aviv, they've been dominating the set pieces. And I don't know how they've not scored here. So the ball's whipped in. They head the ball onto the crossbar. It's then come back down to Dorperez. He must be about a yard out. And it just comes off his knee and hits the post. So they've hit the bar, hit the post. And it's just cleared away. I just don't even know what I've seen. I don't have a clue how it's not gone in. Even Dorperez can't even help but just smile. The fans can't believe it's not gone in. Oh, this would have blown the game.
What a goal!
Would have blown the game wide open.
Unbelievable. I'm sorry to jump in, Will.
No,
what a strike. Oh, that is brilliant. Thank you very much, Will. I don't know what's just gone on in that Shakhtar game. It sounds like utter madness.
You'll need to say it, mate, because it's just, honestly, they hit the bar, hit the post, and don't know it's not going in, but it remains 0-0. But Maccabi could have blown the tie wide open there, but I'll let you talk us through your goal.
Oh, thank you very much, Will. Greatly appreciated. What a strike we've just had in this game from a free kick. It's about 30 yards from goal, and I'm thinking in this situation, just hit it. Diogo Gonçalves, the young fullback, he takes it on. He curls it into the top left-hand part of the goal. What a strike. And Benfica erupt into madness because it puts this game 2-2. And what a brilliant, brilliant goal it is. And the Portuguese side get that all-important away goal that they so desperately needed in this match. 1-1 in the match, 2-2 in the game. And although, because, of course, both teams made it 1-1 in the game before, this game could still well and truly go into extra time. What a goal it is. 1-1. Game on, finally. The first leg was fucking shit. The second leg's going to be so much better now because we've actually got a goal in this game. I need a goal from Lille. Kieran, what's going on? I need a goal.
They did just actually have a chance as you were screaming about your goal, and they were just through on the right-hand side with Weyer, and all he has to do is pull it back, and then a defender sticks a leg out. We've got 2 minutes left of the half for your bet to even have a chance of going to the second half. I'd just cash out now if I were you, Josh.
I can't even cash out. It's a fixed bet.
Oh,
which
dear.
is a real shame, or else I would have cashed out very quickly.
Yeah. We've got a minute and a half left, plus added time. All eyes on this game, I guess, for your bet.
And I need something inspirational to happen in the next 60 seconds.
Right. I'll hope to bring it back to you.
Hopefully so. Thank you very much, Kale. 1-0 in that game. But what a goal we got in this one. 1-1. This is what we want. We love the Europa League. We love knockout competition. You get this form of drama, and it's a great, great goal. I mean, Kyle's just put... I screamed after the screamer went in. Amazing goal. That's the type of goal that really can just boost the confidence of a team in this form of match. And because it was 1-1 in the last game, and right now it's still well and truly wide open, we could maybe even get extra time or penalties in this. But there's a corner here with about 1 minute of additional time. And if Benfica can make the most of this set piece and go 2-1 up, that'll be quite the turnaround. Ball's lofted into the box, comes towards Jan Vertonghen, comes back to Benfica once again. All the plays would be offside if they'd gone for it. But Rafa Silva's got the ball back. He's inside the box, trying to get it towards Vertonghen. Aubameyang clears the ball away, but he's not cleared it convincingly enough. Back to Benfica again. It's inside the box. Gabriel Magalhaes doing some good defending at the back, and it's a real onslaught of opportunities here for Benfica with about 25 seconds left. But wow, this is exactly what we wanted. Drama indeed. As Oriello in the chat has just put, Arsenal will win 2-1 full time. Did you bet on the Brazilian games later on? I didn't. No, I'm not going to lie. I don't tend to bet on the Brazilian games as much because, one, obviously I haven't got a great deal of knowledge. I tend to usually... there's always with Brazilian sides, you remember old names of the past. And two, I'm never up to actually watch the bets anyway. So I don't tend to bet on Brazilian matches. But we've got 2 minutes of additional time in the game between Ajax and Lille. It'd be nice if we could just have a goal in that one. Half-time, Molde 1, Hoffenheim 0. Their dreams of Europa League football are going down to the wire. The German side have got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into that one. 4-3 on aggregate. As we've just reached half-time, Arsenal 1, Benfica 1. Well. We've got a game on our hands here. An absolute screamer of a free kick from Diogo Gonçalves to put Benfica back in this game. Makes it 1-1 just before half-time after Aubameyang's intricate finish to put the ball in the back of the net to dink the goalkeeper Diogo Leite. And we find ourselves in a very, very good position for this game to be well and truly wide open in the next 45 minutes. And as I said, the first game, it was pretty poor to watch. The second game has been quite the lively affair. Is it going to live up to the hype in the second half? We'll have to find out indeed. As I believe we've just about to reach half-time in the game between Napoli and Granada. 1-1 as it currently stands in that one. Napoli with an early goal in that game. I'll talk about that in a second because that's still going on in the background because it is also half-time in the game between Rangers and Royal Antwerp. 1-1 as it currently stands in this one as well. It was Rangers who opened the scoring in this game. Fantastic beginning to that match from Alfredo Morelos. And then once again, the Israelian, Leo Rafilov, got a goal back in that match in the 31st minute. 5-4 on aggregate. Drama across the board in that game. And I have just seen as well, he's typing it out. I know what's happened. It is half-time in that game, but there was a penalty shout just before half-time that wasn't given. Talk us through it, Kieran.
It was for Lille as well. That's why I always kind of...
could you?
The half-time whistle has blown. Renato Sanchez picked it up on the edge of the box and he chested it into the box. And Anthony gets no bit of the ball at all and just barges through the back of Renato Sanchez, causing him to fall to the ground. No VAR check, no decision given. I think everyone can have their own interpretation, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it was given, Josh. I was kind of egging for it, but
he's fraudulent refereeing.
Well, I don't want to say. I was going to say, well, he is from Scotland, but I don't want to say that.
You've said it now. It's too late.
Yeah, it's one of them. I'm surprised it wasn't even checked at all. But sadly, this one's let you down, Josh. I apologise.
It has. But do you know what? The positive thing is if we go into the next half and some of the games don't get goals, then it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So, still to play for. Thank you very much, KL. 1-0 in that game. We've had a goal elsewhere. I said the game had gone to half-time. There's been a goal. Napoli are back in it. It's 2-1, 3-2 on aggregate. And just as you thought that the Italian side were about to maybe get knocked out of this competition, they've got a goal back. But they haven't. It's been disallowed. They haven't got the goal back. Let me put it off. Goal's been disallowed. I will keep you up to date with that a little bit more when we get into half-time. But Napoli, they had the ball in the back of the net just before half-time. In fact, it's still going on right now just because of, I'm guessing, a few complaints going on. The ball was in the back of the net. It's been disallowed. So Napoli haven't got the goal that they would have liked to in the match, which means I need to change the bottom screen again. It is still 1-1 in that game, and it is going on in the background, which does mean, I believe, we are now at half-time across the board in all of our Europa League games, apart from Napoli-Granada. That one is still going on because of the whole debacle going on right now with Napoli's disallowed goal. As it currently stands across the board in the Europa League, Rangers 1, Royal Antwerp 1. We'll start with this one. It was the best game of the first leg of the Europa League. It was 4-3, this one. You know, we came into this match not expecting a great deal, not many goals. But Adam, 5-4 on aggregate, an away goal for Royal Antwerp. Yeah. Do you think this one's done yet?
No, definitely not. Since Antwerp scored as well, they've come into the game a lot more than they were before. And I think they haven't lied down, really. They want to go through to the next round, and that's evident, to be fair. And just before half-time, I think it's Gellin, the centre-back, went off injured. I think he pulled his hamstring. And Morelos stopped play whilst they're in quite good position for Rangers as well. And his teammates didn't really appreciate that for Rangers.
Interesting. I mean, I'm looking at the stats, and as you said, good performance from Antwerp so far. 7 shots, 2 on target for the Belgian side, 54% possession to Rangers 46. Although Rangers have had 8 shots, 4 on target. Who knows with this game? Because it's quite a hard one to predict on paper how it's going.
Yeah. Can I just say as well, Ryan Kent is having a great game. Like, everything he's done is come off. He's having an amazing game. Got the assist as well, so I won't be surprised if you see him scoring, to be honest. He's having a great influence on the game so far. So
it's been a very good game overall. 1-1 as it currently stands. A very, very enjoyable match to watch. And, well, if you can live up to the second half of the last game, you're going to come out with 2 teams scoring double figures at the end of it.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll have to see, Dean. Thank you very much, Adam. 1-1 as it currently stands in that match. Antwerp doing a very good job. That game could be one to watch with 45 minutes of action still left there. Let's have a quick talk about Arsenal-Benfica, because this game, the first leg, I came out of it very disappointed. Wasn't a very enjoyable match to watch as a neutral. But this so far has livened up right at the death of the first half. 43 minutes is what it took for Benfica to actually kind of get into this match, because Arsenal had dominated in terms of opportunities for a large part of the match. And when you look at the stats, it's 52% possession to Benfica, 48 to Arsenal. Arsenal having 4 shots, 2 on target. Remember, one of those shots on target was the Aubameyang goal. Benfica, only 3 shots, 1 on target. But most importantly, Diogo Gonçalves with an absolute blinder of a free kick. It was a majestic goal. One of the better goals of the knockout stages so far. That puts Benfica well and truly back into this game. And because both teams scored 1-1 in the first and second half, this could be one of the games that we could see go into extra time or maybe even penalties, depending on what happens tonight. But Arsenal won, Benfica won. Lots of work for the sides to do in that match if they want to go through. It could be a grandstand 45 minutes between the Premier League and the Liga NOS side. Let's move on to the next game now. Ajax against Lille, 2 of the better teams on paper in the Europa League so far. They came up against each other early on in this tournament. But so far, Kieran, Ajax came out, good performance in the first leg. Ajax coming out so far, good performance in the second leg. Tough job for Lille to come back.
Yeah, and they've not really had that moment in the game, apart from early on through Xhaka, where it was cleared off the line, where I thought, this Lille side are dangerous, but they have got the potential in this team. There's been a lot of long balls and to either winger with Akone and Bamba, where they've caused a few problems getting in behind. But overall, it's not been a great performance from Lille again, and a little bit disappointing because they were kind of ones to watch in this knockout stages. But Ajax, very professional and worthy leaders, I would say.
Very worthy indeed. When you look at the stats of this game so far, 53% possession for Ajax, 47% for Lille, 4 shots, 3 on target for Ajax, 6 shots, only 1 on target for Lille. But I think the most important point in the game so far was the penalty shout right at the very death of the first half.
Yeah, it's one of them, Josh. You'll have to see the video of it, but for me, it could have gone either way. And the way that he's come through the back, he's not got the ball, he's not got a touch on the ball. I've seen them definitely given before, but in this occasion, it sadly wasn't. So maybe Lille need a penalty or something like that just to get their confidence back up. Because during this tie, I've not seen the Lille of the group stages, who took it to AC Milan and the likes of that. And so we'll have to see if they can be a little bit braver in the second half. Won't be surprised if we saw Araujo or Jonathan David come on eventually, and maybe a little bit of a mix-up in the midfield as well, with maybe Samari or something like that. But so far, underwhelming from Lille, a bit like the first leg.
Is indeed. They've got a hell of a lot of work to do if they want to get anything back in that match. And when you've already got so many attacking players on the pitch, it's going to be hard to bring players on, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. The only player, as I say, that I can see immediately from the bench that I think would be maybe not an upgrade, but a like-for-like swap would be bringing off maybe Yusuf Yazici for Jonathan David and going all out pace, because Yazici had such an unbelievable group stage. He's just not been able to get into the 2 knockout games so far, apart from one flick. So we'll have to see, because David himself was on good form coming into this tournament. But Ajax's bench looks strong. It's going to be an interesting second half.
It's going to be a very interesting second half indeed. Thank you very much, Kyle. Ajax 1, Lille 0, 3-1 on aggregate as it currently stands in that game. But the one game tonight that maybe hasn't lived up to the expectations of goals is Shakhtar Donetsk Maccabi Tel Aviv. But he certainly had one of the most bizarre moments in the game. Now, Will, 0-0 as it currently stands, 2-0 still on aggregate to Shakhtar, but Maccabi should have had a goal in this game.
Oh, without doubt, they should have had a goal. I mean, you could say the same thing about Shakhtar because they've had a few chances. They've dominated the game on the whole. But the chance for Maccabi Tel Aviv, like I said, I have no idea how that didn't go in. Header onto the crossbar. It came down to Dorperetz, and he's the captain as well, of all people. And I don't think he was expecting it to hit him. And it hit him on the thigh, hit the post, and even the goalkeeper was bewildered. Like he didn't have a clue what actually happened. But yeah, Maccabi Tel Aviv, without doubt, should have a goal in this game. Unfortunately, they didn't. But the positive sign for them is they dominated the last 10-15 minutes or so. They've really started to take the game to Shakhtar, which I've not seen over the course of the first leg and the first 30 minutes of this second leg. So fair play to them for doing that. But if there's going to be another goal in this game, they need to be the team that gets the next one. Otherwise, I think the tie's dead and buried, because then Maccabi will need 3 goals. But yeah, it's been a decent game. But like you said, there's no goals so far. But hopefully we'll get a few in the second half. Absolutely.
Looking at the stats, Shakhtar 7 shots, 1 on target. Maccabi Tel Aviv 8 shots, 1 on target. Should have been a goal, of course. 66% possession for Shakhtar, 34 for Maccabi Tel Aviv. It's always going to be tougher playing away from home. But Maccabi right now, as you said, they've got to get something soon, before they, even remotely think about getting back into this match. But who do you think? I know they've got Dan Bitton on the bench. It's quite obviously tough to talk about who can come on in a match like this, just because it's very hard to understand some of the players playing in these teams from different countries. But what do they need to do to get a goal back in this kind of first 15, 20 minutes to give them any hope of a potential comeback?
They definitely just need to come out in the second half with the same mentality. I mean, Joses, who came on as a sub in the first leg for Maccabi, he started the game tonight, and again, he's looked really, really lively. I think I've been very impressed with him when he's played. And even Pesic up front, he's a good target man, and he's had a few chances himself. So, if they get the supply up front, then I think they can definitely get a goal. Ben Haim as well, so not Ben Chaim. Ben Haim on the left wing, he had a shot as well midway through the first half that was well saved by the keeper. So they've got people going forward. It's just Shakhtar, they are controlling the possession. They move the ball around really, really well. And I just wonder how long can this Maccabi Tel Aviv defence hold that out for. But like I say, it's definitely interestingly poised going into the second half of this game.
It's a very interesting game indeed. Thank you very much, Will. 0-0 as it stands between Shakhtar Donetsk and Maccabi Tel Aviv. 2-0 on aggregate. 2, of course, Shakhtar Donetsk. Very quickly, Josh has put, hello, chaps. Hope you've had a great day. How are you doing, Josh? Hope you're good, buddy. I bet you're buzzing right now with, I'd say buzzing, but probably a little bit nervous with the Rangers score right now. And then Kyle put, I hope Benfica score next. This Arsenal needing 2, which I don't see happening. Who knows, Kyle? European nights are always special. We love it indeed. But let's go over to the other game. Of course, we had a brilliant start to this match between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg. Salzburg opening the scoring in this game. And just for a little bit, we thought maybe there was a chance that Salzburg were going to be the comeback kings of the competition tonight. But kind of a late goal, last 5 minutes, I would have said, of the first half allowed Gerard Moreno to get a goal for Villarreal. KD, 3-1 on aggregate now. It's going to be very, very tough here for Salzburg to get anything from this game. They're back to square one again.
Yeah, but the chances have been there from Josh. I mean, it's same old, same old. They just can't finish the chances. I mean, Dak has had possibly 2 chances. I know the overhead kick is an audacious attempt, but it almost went in. That mistake at the end of the first half kind of undoes all the good that they did in the first half. But I mean, the fight's there. They've just got to find that energy again. And I'm sure if they can get the next goal, that I think they'll go on and win it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now. It's a pretty good game on paper in terms of if you're a neutral and you're expecting Salzburg to get back. Only 3 shots, 2 on target for Villarreal. 49% possession, which they'll probably be okay with. 51% for Red Bull Salzburg. But as you said, 8 shots, 2 on target. Not consistent enough up top to not necessarily worry Villarreal, but to be convincing enough to get something in the game. They have got one player on the bench who could maybe make a difference, Karim Adeyemi. How long do you think Salzburg give it before they take one of these players off and maybe bring someone on?
The thing is, the front two have been quite good. Dak has been energetic, has always got the assist. And Berisha, of course, is in good form at the moment, grabbing those assists at the weekend and getting a goal tonight. I mean, it's going to be tough to see who he brings off. Probably one of the wingers and puts Adeyemi onto the wing. Or maybe just goes balls to the walls, free up front, go for it. Because, I mean, they've got nothing to lose. If they lose 3-1, they were going to get beat anyway. Do you know what I mean? Just go for it. Might as well. You could possibly get to the next round of the Europa League. And you know what? Why not?
Why not? They'd make for a very, very good 45 minutes of action. Thank you very much, KDs. It currently stands that game 1-1 on between Villarreal and Salzburg. 3-1 on aggregate as it currently stands. And then 2 of the games that will just be kicking off very shortly. Mold 1-0 up against Hoffenheim. 4-3 on aggregate there. Mold have had 1 shot in the game to the 15 that Hoffenheim have had. And they've got the all-important goal that will be putting them through to the next round right now. 4-3 on aggregate there. So some work to do for the Bundesliga side if they want to go through to the round of 16. And then Napoli-Granada. This game has had a lot of drama in it so far. 1-1 as it currently stands between the Serie A and the Liga side. It was Napoli opened the scoring within the first 4 minutes of the game. Piotr Zielinski gave the Italian side a little bit of hope that they could maybe get something back in this match. But then in the 25th minute, Angel Montero put the ball into the back of the net to equalise and get that all-important away goal for Granada. Napoli, they thought they'd scored and put the ball into the back of the net just before half-time. A little bit of drama in that situation. The goal actually didn't count in the end. It was, I think, given as an offside. So Napoli Didn't get the goal that they needed, which would have been a massive confidence booster going into half-time, and it stays 1-1 in that match. As we do get back underway with some of the games tonight, we've just kicked off here in the Arsenal-Benfica match. Of course, we only had 1 minute of additional time, so we are back underway there. But very quickly, while we are into the early sectors of the second half, do not forget tonight that you can join us straight after this for the 8 p.m. kickoffs. Now, it's going to be like the goal show once again, but there'll be two main games that are focused on. You can join KD and Roman, the two co-hosts tonight. They'll be covering Man United, Real Sociedad, and Leicester, Slavia Prague as the two main games. But alongside them will be myself, KL, and Will. We'll be in the background watching some other games, and we'll be popping in and out of the stream, depending on what happens in the other games tonight. We'll be covering Club Brugge Kiev. We'll be covering the game between AC Milan, Red Star Belgrade, and also PSV Olympiacos. So some other games going on in the background tonight. Join us for that, for a mini goal show at 8 o'clock. Lots of drama there. Friday morning, you can join Rome from 10 a.m. for the A-League Friday morning goal show. Perth Glory taking on Brisbane Roar. That's from the later time, event 10 a.m. in the morning. And then you can join Rowan on Saturday afternoon. He'll be doing Manchester City, West Ham from 25 past 12. That should be a very good game to watch. And then straight after that, how about this? La Liga, Sevilla, Barcelona, 3 you can join me for what should be a barnstormer of a match in Spain. And then right after that, how about this? Triple header for you on Saturday. Leipzig, Gladbach, 5:20. You can join Rowan and Kieran L for that one. Should be a very good game indeed. And as always, if you haven't checked already, there is an interview with Devin Peterson that is available on the YouTube channel now. I took a 25-minute interview with him. A very good interview it was indeed. So if you haven't checked that out already, it is available on YouTube. Well worth checking that out. Good fun it was. As we do get back into the second half, I was about to say we've had some substitutions, but I'm going to stop for a second because we've had a right start to the match. You guessed it. Rangers Antwerp, 5-4 on aggregate this one. Surely not. Have Rangers took the lead again? Have they got a lead on aggregate, or have Antwerp made it 5-5?
Rangers have scored. And talking about subs, it's a substitute that scored, Nathan Patterson, the 19-year-old. Crazy. I think they're checking it for an offside, though. But, yeah, the 19-year-old came on at half-time for Balogun. It's just scored, bottom left corner. What a finish as well. I think he's played like 2 professional games or something this season.
Which is mad when you think about it.
Yeah.
And, of course, he'll be praying right now that this goal counts.
Oh, yeah. I think it's counting. Yeah, I think it has counted. I'm pretty sure. But it's a massive goal for Rangers. Like, you can't see Antwerp going back into this now.
No, you really can't. 6-4. Game looks like he's going to be done and dusted now. Thank you very much, Adam. But who knows? We said it was done and dusted before, and then it was 4-3 in the end. Bonkers match. That was another good game again, 2-1. And finally, he's had a very good game so far. He hasn't had a goal in it, but we have a goal. Shakhtar Maccabi Tel Aviv, 2-0 as it stands to the Ukrainian side. We were saying beforehand, Maccabi Tel Aviv did truly deserve to get a goal in that match. Well, have they got that goal, or is Shakhtar going to be running away with things?
Right, so I had a goal, and it's been ruled out. And you know, the goal was for Maccabi Tel Aviv as well, which makes it even worse, because if it was Shakhtar, the tie's over. But if Maccabi Tel Aviv get this goal, the tie is very interesting. It was actually a pretty good goal. I mean, it was a long throw. I think it was by the right back, Geraldes. And he threw it to the big man, Pesic, up front. Well, I thought won the header, but it actually came off a Shakhtar defender. And it flicked back. The keeper was in no man's land. And who was there again? Dor Perez, the captain who should have got that goal in the first half, with a diving header into the top corner. It's a fantastic finish, but the referee blows and says that the striker, Pesic, was in an offside position. It's been ruled out, and it's still 2-0 Shakhtar. But Maccabi Tel Aviv, you know what? I said earlier on they were showing no threat at all. I wrote them off, but the last half an hour or so, back into the first half and start of the second half, they've been the best team. So they really do deserve a goal in this game, and I feel unfortunate for them. But as it stands, it's still 2-0 Shakhtar, and they will be the team going through at the moment.
Big moments there for Maccabi. Massive chance to get back into the game. Ruled out in the end. Thank you very much, Will. 2-0 still to Shakhtar Donetsk, who might be thinking a little bit. They're not necessarily clinging on, but they do need to get another goal here with the way Maccabi are playing. But we had a goal in the game between Arsenal and Benfica, but I don't think it's going to count. They're checking this for offside. It was Aubameyang again, one-on-one with the keeper. Good scooped finish to just chip it above Diogo Leite. And I've got a feeling that this goal isn't going to count and it's going to be offside. Referee blows his whistle. And it has been given as offside in the end. I would have been very surprised if that goal had been given. Very marginal in terms of the offside, but of course, these days with VAR, it's always worth checking to see whether a player's on or not. And I'm just looking now. It is a marginal offside decision, I have to say, but it is the correct one in the end. And Arsenal don't get the goal that they would have been so desperately craving in the first 5 minutes of this second half. So it stays 2-2 on aggregate in this one. And that is a little bit of a confidence booster for Arsenal, although they would have much preferred to have had a goal in that game. But let's just quickly run through some of the games once again for you, although I'm going to stop because Benfica coming forward. It's going to be Adel Tarat here. It'd be lovely to see him score tonight, of all people. Of course, former QPR man, it'd be nice to see him score in the Europa League, but he doesn't get anything in the end, and Arsenal stop the attack, which is a real shame. But let's quickly run down all of the implications tonight in the games that we're watching right now. So Arsenal-Benfica, currently sat at 2-2 this one on aggregate. This game can still go into extra time or penalties if the scoreline stays as it currently is, of course, with the first leg ending 1-1. So this could be one of those games that does continue on after 8 o'clock tonight, depending on what happens in the next 40 minutes or so of action. Ajax 1-up against Lille. The only way we can go to extra time or penalties in this one is if Lille score 2 and there's no reply from Ajax, or else already it's quite a big task at hand for Lille to get anything in this game. So Ajax looking like they will be going through to the next round unless Lille produce 2 moments of quality in the next 45 minutes. Shakhtar Donetsk 2-0 up on Maccabi Tel Aviv in the first leg. 0-0 as it stands in this one. Maccabi need 2 away goals to send that one to extra time. If Shakhtar score tonight, there'll be no extra time in that one, and probably Shakhtar going through to the next round anyway. Napoli 1, Granada 1. That game will not be going to extra time tonight. 3-1 as it currently stands to Granada. You would expect that game to be done and dusted unless Napoli can get a nice early goal in that one. That game has just kicked off, actually. That had a few minutes of additional time because there was a goal that was ruled out for Napoli just before the final sectors of the first half. Villarreal, there'll be no extra time in this one tonight. Villarreal getting a home goal in that game. Salzburg took an early 1-0 lead, but Villarreal getting a goal in that match means there'll be no extra time in this one. 45 minutes is all Salzburg will have to get something back in that match. And then Mold are looking like they're going to be going through to the next round, depending on what happens. 1-0 up against Hoffenheim. That game, I don't think we're going into extra time tonight because, of course, Hoffenheim did score 3 goals away from home. So they've got the advantage in that match. So lots of implications still to talk through throughout the night. And then, of course, I did forget to say, we've already got one team through to the next round anyway. Tottenham played yesterday against Wolfsburg, not the Wolfsburg from the Bundesliga. This is the Austrian side. And beat them 4-0 in their match yesterday, which ended that game 8-1 on aggregate, including a Dele Alli bicycle kick that was nowhere near the length that Giroud had. You know, Giroud was scoring against La Liga sides and one of the greatest goalkeepers that there is of this generation. And Dele Alli was playing against a bunch of Austrians. You know what I mean? Giroud will always be 100 times better. So that was the whole situation in hand for Tottenham. Great result for them in the end. Be disappointed for Wolfsburg to drop out of the tournament 8-1, but always nice to play a big Europa League side at the early stages of this competition and win 8-1 on aggregate. But let's go back to this Arsenal-Benfica game, because this one has been quite lively in the first few minutes of the second half. Arsenal coming forward quite a bit here. There's going to be David Luiz at the halfway line. And there does seem to be a bit of urgency right now for Arsenal to get the first goal of the second half, potentially, depending on what happens in this game. And of course, if Benfica score, it's going to make things hard with the away goals rules. So the home side has always got to dominate the game. And they did have the ball in the back of the net, courtesy of Aubameyang. But they're going to have to put the ball in the back of the net again because it was ruled offside. And that would have been a nice start within the first 5 minutes of the second half to get a goal back in that one. But still, it's going to be 1-1 in this game, 2-2. And I don't know why, but I've got a feeling this is going to be one of those games that does go into extra time. But who knows? Lots of time left in it. But we are going to be just having a quick update in the game between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg. Yellow card coming out in that one. Mwepu, one of the wingers, he has gone into the book in that game. 1-1 still as it currently stands in that match. Lots of time still to go in that game. But of course, bookings will start to slowly add up in that match depending on what happens. Of course, suspensions and stuff will come. will come as the game progresses on, and will come as the tournament progresses on, of course. The yellow cards collectively racking up. I think they reset at the quarterfinal stage, if I'm correct. But I'm pretty sure in the Champions League they do. But we're going over to KL again, because we did have, in the first half, right at the end of it, we had a VAR opportunity for a potential shout of a penalty. We've had that exact same situation happen again at the beginning of the second half. Who had the penalty shout this time?
It was Ajax, but it wasn't for a tackle or anything. It was a Lille player tackling a Lille player, but it may have connected with his hand in the process. It would have been an absolute calamity, by the way. You could have put the Benny Hill music over the absolute stare. So there's a long ball over the top, and the fullback's trying to deal with it, and he goes to chest it. But as he chests it, Mainan comes to catch it and barges his own defender into the ball with his arm. So it does come off the defender's arm, but in terms of non-intentional, I don't think you can really give this one, because Mainan basically just decided to body the fullback, and one of them. It's not great for Lille so far, and it would have gone from bad to worse if that would have been given.
Absolutely, it would have indeed. Thank you very much, KL. 1-0 as it currently stands still in that game, 3-1 on aggregate. We've had a goal elsewhere. Where is it? Put your money. Where is the goal come from? I'll give you 2 seconds. Rangers Antwerp, of course. Now, this is big, and I keep saying this is big because, every time it is fairly big. Rangers 2-1 up here. Got a nice early goal within the first few minutes of the second half. If they've got a third here, this game is well and truly done and dusted. Is it 3-1 Rangers, or is it 2-2? Adam?
3-1 to Rangers. It's still undusted. As I said earlier, it's Ryan Kent with a goal. He's had a great game, to be fair to him. He deserves the goal. Morelos broke away on the right-hand side, squared it back into Kent. This little tap in 6-yard box. It's a goal. 3-1. That's the game done dusted now for me. Definitely.
And yet again, another game. 4 goals in it. You're bloody lucky when it comes to these watchalongs.
What a tie I've had, to be fair, yeah. I mean, we said as well about only one tie having goals in, but both have. So, very lucky for these games.
Exactly, and the rate it's going, you're probably going to pick every game in the Europa League that somehow has got like 7 or 8 goals in it. You've just got that luck right now, Adam. But thank you very much. 3-1 as it stands, and he predicted very well. He said Ryan Kent was going to score, and he's put the ball in the back of the net, 3-1. And if you're a Rangers fan now, specifically, I'm going to guess Josh in the chat, we spoke to him earlier, of course, being a Real Madrid fan, a Rangers fan, nerves, you can relax now. You should be through to the next round. 7-4 on aggregate in that game. I mean, Chaos says Antwerp get 3 in extra time. Maybe Beaver Van comes on and smashes in 3 and gets a hat-trick. You never know. That's the magic of European football. Maybe not that magic, but you never know these days. They might just stick him up top. And then we've also had a change in that Axe little game. Brobby has come on. Now, you might remember Brobby scored last week in the reverse fixture away from home in France. So if he can get his name onto the score sheet again, that would be a massive situation for them. But let's quickly go back to this game, because as it stands, Arsenal Benfica. In fact, I won't. We're going to stop. Where's the goal come from this time? I'll give you 2 seconds. In fact, I won't. We're going back again. Rangers Antwerp, 3-1 in this game. Are Rangers running right, Adam?
Nope. Antwerp have scored.
What's going on?
It is Lamco Z. Oh, it's a mix-up between goals to the McGregor at the back there, but they just tap it into an open goal. Oh, it's literally the keeper's run into goals.
Can I just nick your game?
If you want, you can.
Unbelievable. I mean, Antwerp don't give up, do they? That's what we've learned from the last 2 legs.
From both games, they don't know when they're beaten, and they've come back every time. It's crazy.
Absolutely unbelievable game. Thank you very much, Adam. Greatly, greatly appreciated. 3-2, 7-5. I think Adam's going to be coming back a few times tonight with the way that game is going. And I'll tell you one thing. It's making me very agitated, because we've now got both teams scoring in that game, which now means if we get both teams scoring in this game, I'm going to be very depressed for the rest of the night. But no, what a match this is. There's been 13 goals. 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 12 goals. There probably will be 13 by the end of it, maybe even more. I was only joking when I said both teams would get to double figures. We're getting towards it. And as we said, Antwerp not giving up tonight without a fight. They're going to have to get a few more goals to have any hope of coming back in that match. And literally, just as I said, Rangers fans will be about to be able to relax. You probably are now a little bit nervous again. But Kyle's just put in the chat the United team tonight that he's going to be playing Sociedad. Henderson is in goal. Tellers, Lindelof, Bailly, Wan-Bissaka, the back four. The defensive midfield two of Matic and Fred. Bruno Fernandes as the cam, with Daniel James, Martial and Greenwood up top as the front attacking line. He says, apologies for this, but what a shite team. This is why I say Ole out. But he screamed at me. He's putting caps. Penalty! Who has it come from? Villarreal. Who's got it? Is it a penalty for Salzburg, Kieran?
It's Salzburg. Of course, it's being checked by VAR, but a corner comes in, and Etienne Capoue, it flicks off his heel as he's trying to clear it, and it hits his outstretched hand. Now, it is a penalty for me because it's just, well, the referee's checking it, and we've got that awkward moment, Josh, of is it a penalty, is it not a penalty?
How's you now?
I'm all right.
Benfica in! Benfica in! It's going to be a goal! It's in! It's a mistake in the back. Rafa Silva. It's 2-1.
Now, I stopped then because I've also got that game on just on the side, just as something to watch. But the referee in this game, Josh, going over to the monitor to check it, so it might be disallowed, this penalty.
Big moment for him. It is a calamity. I can fill up the space now for you. It's a calamity at the back. It's Arsenal defensive disaster class. I think from who I see, it's Dani Ceballos who heads the ball thinking that the goalkeeper's going to be there. He heads it backwards. Rafa Silva, he runs onto the ball. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He dinks it past Leno. After that, puts it in the back of the net. 2-1.
I think he's not given the penalty. No handball, no penalty. Well, wow. For me, it's a weird one because, I mean, it's kind of Capoue's own error that ends up with him accidentally handballing it. But, I mean, no penalty, still 1-1. But, I mean, it's been a very, very poor start to the second half from Salzburg. I'm not going to lie.
Which is not good at all. But big moment in that game. Could have been a shout for a penalty. Hasn't been given. Salzburg have got to keep fighting on. Thank you very much, Kieren D. 3-1 as it currently stands to Villarreal in that game. But a disaster class at the back for Arsenal. And they've got to go for it now. They're 3-2 down in this game. 2-1 to Benfica. And on comes, it's Pele. Pele's on the pitch, the greatest footballer to ever grace Arsenal. He's on. They're looking to Willian. Emile Smith-Rowe comes off. Willian comes on. Dennis Ceballos off, Thomas Partey on. Arsenal have got to go for it now. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know why. Probably don't listen to me. I've got a bad feeling Willian's going to score in this game and get Arsenal back into it. I mean, Tubbs is laughing. It is shambolic defending at the back. And it's not even, to be fair, a defensive mistake from the back line. It's just Ceballos who heads the ball back. I don't know who he's heading it to. He must have seen a ghost or something. Might have seen Casper the Friendly Ghost. It was a friendly pass to Rafa Silva, and he puts it in the back of the net. And now this is where this game gets interesting because Arsenal have actually got to attack, which Mikel Arteta doesn't like because he's a boring fucker. Arsenal need 2 in this game now. So, quite a bit of pressure on them. And they're going to have a chance here to come forward. Bellerin plays it into Odegaard. Partey's in the box, lob towards him. Comes towards Partey, gets his head on it. Saved in the end by Diogo Leite. So no extra time now in this one. Arsenal need 2. And the pressure is well and truly on in this game. And exactly as you said, Kyle, you wanted it. You wanted Arsenal to get 2. And I've just realised we had a goal in this game, didn't we? So we need Arsenal to maybe go on and get another one, and then I'll be even more miserable tonight because that's another one that was on the bet. So brilliant indeed. Loving it. But let's just quickly talk about some of the other games going on tonight. Some of the games that we're not covering, necessarily speaking. It's still 1-0 to Mold against Hoffenheim. 4-3 on aggregate in that game as it currently stands. In terms of the stats, Hoffenheim have had 17 shots now, 5 on target. Mold have only had 2 shots, 1 on target, 1 goal. Mold looking to a masterclass performance in terms of defensive play. So that one there is still 1-0. And then Napoli-Granada, 3-1 on aggregate as it currently stands, 1-1 in that game. No goals so far. That game, I think, is about 3 or 4 minutes behind the rest. But, of course, as you would expect, Napoli going to have to go for it here. They need a few more goals to come back in that match. As do Arsenal, who, of course, need 2 goals in this game. As they come forward here, ball lofted into the box. It's going to come towards Bukayo Saka. Chance for Bellerin to whip this in. Slight deflection on the cross, cleared away. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of Arsenal now. Get a goal in the next 10, 15 minutes, and this could be a very interesting end to the tie. 3-2 as it currently stands. There's been a few changes in the game between Ajax and Lille. Jonathan David and Araujo both coming on alongside Jeremy Pied. Jonathan Ikone, Bamba, and Selic all coming off. So some attacking changes for Lille as they try and push to get back in that match. Tubbs put Arsenal lead 2 goals, and who does Arteta put in? Ta-da! Willie effing Ann. Well, it's Pele, isn't it, Tubbs? He's the greatest player to have ever graced the Premier League. All those incredible goals, and I'm talking about him. He's through on goal here. Tries to lay the ball off into the path of Aubameyang, doesn't get it to him in the end, and Arsenal are going to have some work to do here. Going to go over to KL up because there's a free kick right at the edge of the box in this match. Could be a big chance in the game. Who's it for?
Yeah, it's for Lille as well. Yazici was cropped from behind on the edge of the box. He's standing over it, as is Renato Sanchez. I don't know if you're watching Napoli-Granada, Josh, but there's been a goal in that game.
Just as about as updating.
Look at this.
Look at that. Perfectly timed. Fabian Ruiz, 60th minute.
Yeah, he has. And Yazici looks like he's going to be the one to hit it with the left foot. It's probably from where the man from Benfica scored earlier, Goncalves. That's it. Yeah, it's around that area. I'd love to see that level of free kick come from the foot of Yusuf Yazici. It's great.
I'm guessing it's in the back of the net from that reaction.
No, it's in the back of somewhere, but more likely... No, to be fair, he went low. He went to try and go round the wall, not like the top corner. Went for the bottom corner and just ended up hitting the billboard behind the goal. This is why you should never come to me when I big up a little chance anymore. I'm losing faith. I'm losing faith.
Do you know what? You might be losing faith, but you're making it easier for me to fill some time. So thank you very much. He's in. Arsenal are back in the game. It's 2-2. And I think it's Hector Bellerin who's put the ball in the back of the net. It's not Hector Bellerin. I don't think that was fucking Hector Bellerin. It's Kieren D, the man who wasn't even going to play in this game. Originally, it was going to be Cedric playing at left back. He drives forward, and it's only fucking Pele that assists him. Plays the ball. Pele into Tierney. He gets around one defender, takes it on at his near post. Ball's in the back of the net. Arsenal 2, Benfica 2. Game on. Arteta's side are back in it. What a game this has turned out to be. And of all people, it's a great finish from Tierney. Powerful, powerful effort. Driven into the bottom left-hand corner. Game on. And talking about another chance, we've had a penalty elsewhere. Shakhtar Maccabi Tel Aviv. Who's got the penalty, Will?
It was Shakhtar that got the penalty, and they've just scored it. Moraes sends the keeper the wrong way, slots it into the top right-hand corner. The penalty was won by the substitute Tete, who just come on for Manon Solomon. He burst into the box, and Ben Haim, who's backtracking, he's playing at left wing tonight, but he's backtracking, trying to help out the left back. He ends up taking down Tete in the box, just gets complete wrong side of him. And Moraes puts the penalty away really nicely, but it's 1-0 Shakhtar on the night, 3-0 in aggregate. And I think that's the tie done with. Only 20 minutes to go. But, Maccabi Tel Aviv, they've had the chance in this game. And, they have been very, very unfortunate, I'd say. They definitely deserved at least 1 goal in this game. But I think that might be a game over now, and Shakhtar probably moving on to the next round.
Might be tied indeed, sadly. Thank you very much, Will. Shakhtar, yes, looking like they're going to be going through to the next round of the Europa League. Now 3-0 up on aggregate, not 2-0. Don't ignore that for a second there. 3-0 up on aggregate in that game. We've had a few yellow cards. Renato Sanchez going into the book, suspended if Lille do make a comeback. And there's also been a few changes in the game between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg. Chukwueze, Gomez, Pedraza, and Alcacer coming on in those matches. As we said before, the goal in the Napoli game, 2-1 to Napoli in that one, is now 3-2 on aggregate. I've just fucking deleted the post, which means I'm just going to go with KL while I update that again. Fabian Ruiz, 60th minute with the goal there. But let's go over to KL while I write that up again. Ajax 1, Lille 0. Who's had the chance?
It was Ajax, and they really could have killed the game, Josh. It was a ball forward, and there's a ball forward here. He's in! No, what a save! Oh, that's an unbelievable save. Right,
it's not in.
We'll do this one. It was a long ball again. Jallo, 2 mistakes in a matter of minutes. This one goes right over his head. Brian Bobby, causing him all sorts of problems. He tries to hit it towards goal, but it only goes towards Klaas, and he goes to chest it. It's bouncing in, swiped off the line by Maignan. He might have just kept his team in it. And before that, Tadic could have finished the game off, but he tried to be too cute and tried to dink the keeper into Magnan's hand. But that save from Maignan gives Lille a massive lifeline. That should have... I thought it were going in, Josh.
Drama. This is it now. We're in the final 20 minutes. This is where things get exciting. Still only 1-0 in KL's game. Thank you very much indeed. 3-1 on aggregate, but very nearly had the ball in the back of the net again there in that match, but we nearly had a chance for the ball to go in here. What a game this has turned into. I tell you what, it's made up for sure for the first leg. 20 minutes now. This is a grandstand finish because Benfica cannot sit back. Yes, it is 3-3, but they can't afford to sit back in this game and allow Arsenal to dominate the rest of this match, which they have been doing for the last 5 minutes of action. I mean, it's a good response from Arsenal, considering that I think a lot of people expected them to maybe not go on and win this game. They're looking now potentially a little bit more lively to come back in this match. They need one more goal to win it, and they're coming forward here. Ball from Tierney into the box, and it's going to be cleared away in the end. And it's nervy now for Benfica, who must have thought, after Arsenal made that mistake earlier on, which Rafa Silva put into the back of the net, that maybe Arsenal would collapse in this game. But, I mean, it's exactly as I said. I had a feeling William was going to do something, and he bloody did, didn't he? He just got an assist. Unbelievable. Talk about an incredible, inspired substitution from Mikel Arteta. It's not often you get to say that about a player of Williams' quality, but maybe the £5 billion they're spending a week on him might finally be worth it for that one assist that he gets. But still lots of time left in this game. 20 minutes left. I'm getting very sweaty, and that's because, you know, these are the types of games, as I said, as a neutral, where you watch these and you just have to sit back and enjoy them because, you know, I'm a very passionate person, and just moments like this when you get to the second legs of these types of games are so good to watch. And we've had some great matches tonight, and still time maybe for some inspirational comebacks or last-minute winners and things like that. As Arsenal looking to come forward again, ball cleared away. But David Luiz coming forward, takes on a long-range effort, nowhere near the goal in the end. But 20 minutes left of today's games. We've had a yellow card in the Villarreal match. Yellow card going to Jean Costa, the fullback. He's gone into the book. But don't go anywhere, because tonight, as I said before, we are back once again at 8 p.m. UK time. Right after this, the two main games we're covering, Manchester United, Real Sociedad, and Leicester Slavia Prague. So that will be KD and Rowan hosting it together. But myself, KL, will be on after the game, doing a little goals show as well. The boys will bring us in when the goals do go in, so you'll be able to keep up to date with all of the scores across European football. Should be some good games tonight, but we've got 20 minutes left, maybe about 25 minutes in the Napoli-Granada game. And as it currently stands, across the board tonight, Rangers 3, Antwerp 2, 7-5 on aggregate. Lots of work still to do for Rangers, although it's looking pretty likely they're going to go through to the next round unless there's an incredible Antwerp comeback. Arsenal 2, Benfica 2. This game has come to life in the second leg. Brilliant match so far. Benfica taking the lead from an Arsenal mistake, and then Arsenal a few minutes later clawing back, but they still need another goal if they want to go on and win this. Ajax 1, Lille 0. Not had as many goals in this match, but lots of drama, some good saves, some penalty shouts as well. So it has had a little bit of drama, as you would expect. Although I'm going to stop for a second because Arsenal coming forward. Now it's Benfica coming forward. Oh, and it was a massive chance from just outside the box. And I think it was Seferovic in the end who took the opportunity on from about 25 yards out. Really, really good effort. Curling towards the bottom left-hand corner of the pit, of the goal. And any more curl on that, and I think that could have been going into the back of the net. What a big opportunity indeed. We've got Shakhtar Donetsk, who've just scored a few moments ago against Maccabi Tel Aviv. So that tie looks done and dusted. 3-0 in that game now on aggregate. Villarreal 1, Red Bull Salzburg 1. Not had as many goals as you would have expected, but there's been a fair few opportunities for Salzburg, which they just haven't been able to put into the back of the net, as well as 1 or 2 penalty shouts. 3-1 to the Spanish side there. Mold somehow holding on against Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim have had 19 shots, only 5 on target. Mold have still only had 2 shots in the game, 1 on target, 1 goal. 4-3 on aggregate there for the Norwegian side. And then Napoli 2, Granada 1. Napoli, in a very similar situation to Arsenal, need a spirited comeback. They're 3-2 down right now, but Granada got that all-important away goal with 15 to 20 minutes left of those games. Let's go over to Ajax and Lille. There's been a chance in that match. 3-1 on aggregate as it currently stands. Chances left, right and centre in this game. And yet still somehow it's only 1-0.
It's another chance for Ajax. They should have killed this game 3 or 4 times. And it was a lovely ball by Dusan Tadic in behind Bradovic between centre-half and left-back. It fell to David Neres. He opened it up on his left foot. He's got to go for the corner. He doesn't connect with it right, and it goes straight at Maignan. But Maignan doesn't quite get it properly, and he has to rely on it saving his hand onto his hip and it was just balancing for a minute, and I got a little worried. But it doesn't creep behind him because it would have been a goal. But Ajax should have had 3 or 4. Lille, not really a chance, which is kind of the opposite of what I'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, you would have expected a lot of chances in a game like this from them, but just not seeming to be able to get the opportunities that they wanted in the game so far.
No, not clicking for Lille at all. And it's, I think it's Ajax's game here where they'll rue the missed chances if Lille do get a bit of momentum. But with only 15 minutes to go, they need to get it soon.
They do indeed. Thank you very much, Kyle. 1-0 as it currently stands still to Ajax. 3-1 on aggregate. And now we've got a chance for Benfica to come forward. It's a 3-on-2. Ball's dinked towards the path of Seferovic, but the ball's too heavy in the end. And Leno's able to get it into the path of Odegaard. And that was a massive, massive chance for maybe Benfica to get something. I mean, they've just made a few changes. Nunes and Everton coming on into this match. So they've gone for it as well. Lacazette is getting ready to come on too in this game. So both teams now chucking their attackers onto the pitch. And it's end-to-end football as Arsenal come forward. Odegaard, defence splitting pass, but no one's able to read the pass from the Norwegian. And in the end, it doesn't come to anything. But this is a grandstand final 15 minutes between Arsenal and Benfica. Still a long, long way to go in this one, I have to say. Chris is in the building. How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're all good. But I'm going to stop for a second because there's been a goal elsewhere. This is a massive goal tonight because Napoli have made it 3-1. Can you believe it? 3-3 on aggregate now in this game. The goal, I will find out who scored it in a second, but it's 3-1 in the match. Napoli are one step closer to completing an unbelievable comeback, of course. Granada getting that important away goal in the game makes it... No, I'm sorry. It hasn't counted again. Another disallowed goal in the game for Napoli. It is not 3-1. It's back to 2-1 again. And for me, it is absolutely irritating because it means I've got to change the bloody scoreline again. But that is now 2 disallowed goals that Napoli have had in tonight's match. And it stays 3-2 on aggregate, 2-1 still to Napoli, which will not be enough in this game. They do need to get themselves a few more goals as Granada still lead on aggregate 3-2. Unbelievable. Maccabi Tel Aviv game, Shakhtar. There's been a change in that match. Dan Bitton, the second cousin of Ner Bitton at Celtic, is on the pitch. So a little bit of optimism there for Will. He's got about 15 minutes left of that game. Shakhtar 3-0 up on aggregate. But yeah, as I said before, Tubbs, Nunes is on the pitch now. So obviously they made the changes to bring Nunes and Everton on as they're looking to come forward here. Here is Nunes on the ball, gone down in the end. Referee's going to give a free kick to Benfica. And with 13 minutes left of the match, both teams making their attacking changes, there is an opportunity for one of these two sides to win it. But I'm going to go over to KL because there's been a VAR penalty check yet again. Who's had it this time?
This one's to Lille. He's off to the monitor. David got in behind and I've got to admit, I've seen Alvarez there, goes in with his shoulder, doesn't connect with the ball. His foot does take out David. I think Alvarez is saying, oh, it's just a shoulder barge, but we'll have to see because the referee has gone to the monitor, so clearly VAR's not sure. But this is the third penalty check of the game that we've had. So we'll have to see if this one is finally given. It's a long check. He's doing the signal, Josh. Penalty to Lille.
Oh, this is massive. Here we go.
To be fair, I actually agree. If anything, it's not a shoulder badge. It's a shoulder into the back, and his legs do connect with David's as well. He's trying to say it's just a shoulder badge. It's not. It's a little bit more. And finally, a penalty check has been given. Yazici scores this, game on. Misses this, possibly tie over. Stecklenburg in net.
Big moment.
Oh.
VAR's got his money's worth tonight.
Yo, Jesus Christ, tell me about it. Honestly, the amount of checks we've had. And this one has actually worked.
By the way, I am just going to add Adam in as well. Penalty in the Rangers game. Who to, Adam?
10 for Rangers. Melos has tripped. So surely if this goes in, this will kill the tie. Surely. It has to.
Steps up. lashes it home. 1-1. Yazici down the middle. What a penalty. Just lashes it as hard as you can. Troy Deeney-esque from the Yazici. Game on with 10, 13 minutes to go.
One goal is all they need to go to extra time. How's the nerve, Kieran? How's the bottle?
I don't know, but I tell you what, it's getting exciting now. I'm definitely I don't want to say I'm cheering Lille on, but let's have a bit of extra time. 1-1.
Thank you very much, KL. 1-1 as it stands in that one. As you said, Adam, before, penalty to Rangers. This will kill the tie-off if it goes in.
Surely it will. It has to.
You'd expect it to. I mean, surely no more drama in a game of that quality.
Surely not. It's Barisic as well. He scored. Is it 2 pens he scored last week?
Scored 2 pens last week, indeed.
He scored. Past it, Wolf.
Boom.
Into
There
the
we go.
quality. That's 5-2. 8-5. 4-2, sorry. 8-5. There we go.
6 goals on the night. Again, you're on course for another 7 goals.
Surely that'll be it now. That's the game.
Do you know what, though? We've said that, I think, about 13 times before, and we've had more goals. We'll have to find out, though. Thank you very much, Adam. 4-2 to Rangers, 8-5 on aggregate. Surely game over now. Surely? Can I say that? After 13 times before? We'll have to find out, indeed. A few more changes in the other games tonight. Shakhtar Donetsk, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Tyson coming off the pitch, and Conor Plianka coming on. And then also a change in the Ajax-Lille game. Timothy Weah has come off the pitch, Lehaji coming on. So a few more changes up top as they look to push to try and get an equalising goal on aggregate. Remember, if Lille score in the next 10 minutes, that game is going to extra time, depending on what happens. 1-1 as it stands in that game. We've got the goal in the game between Rangers and Antwerp, the 4-2, of course, scored by Borna Barisic. That's yet again another penalty that has been dispersed into the goal by the Croatian. Josh Hall celebrating, of course, Penta Rangers, 1-1 Lille. Go to Rangers again. As I said, we are going to them. You'll just have to give us time tonight. We've got 6 games we're covering, so we won't always be going to the Rangers ones because there's 6 other games. But as we said, we'll try and keep you up to date with them all as we go along tonight because it is hectic as we get into the last 10 minutes of these round of 32 games. Kyle's put, if Arsenal can't progress Europa League, how the hell are they supposed to do well in the Champions League? Maybe the Europa Conference League will be their standard when it's introduced. You never know, but they've got a few more minutes in this match to get something back. They need one more goal to go through in that game. So a lot of work to still be there. In terms of the other 2 matches that we're not covering tonight, in terms of people watching them, it is still, as it currently stands, Napoli 2, Granada 1. And it's still 1-0 to Molde against Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim need to get a goal quick in that game, or else they are going to be going out of the Europa League in pretty embarrassing fashion. You know, I think a lot of people would have probably expected them to go on and beat a team like Molde, but they haven't so far. And it's going to be very, very nervy for them indeed to try and get something in that game and maybe see if they can knock Molde out with about 5 minutes left of that match. Are we going to see any unbelievable comebacks tonight? Are we going to see any 90-minute winners? The most likeliest of games to see something happen late on. Maybe Villarreal, Red Bull, Salzburg, if there could be a few more goals. Very unlikely, though. But it is the game between Arsenal, Benfica, and Ajax and Lille that are the 2 most likely for something to happen late on. Napoli, Granada as well in a very, very good position to maybe get something in this match. But they're going to have to get a goal pretty quick indeed. Arsenal coming forward here. They've got 6 minutes left on the clock. 1 goal will be enough to take them through to the next round, but they need it quick, or else Benfica will be sending them packing. Nervous, nervous times indeed. It's Willian on the ball, already got assist in this game. Plays the ball to the substitute Lacazette. Back to Willian again, lovely pass. Xhaka gives the ball away, but not in a bad enough position for it to lead to a counter-attack, and they're safe for the moment. Yellow card going to Adeyemi in the Villarreal Red Bull Salzburg game. Austrian side maybe just starting to drop a little belief and confidence that they can get back into that match. Still 3-1 on aggregate there to Villarreal. And then there's also been a change in Villarreal in that game. Juan Foyth, former Spurs man on loan at Villarreal, he comes on. Juan Costa coming off. So a few changes and yellow cards in that match as we get towards the final 5 minutes. And there's going to be a change here for Benfica. Obviously, already brought on Darwin Núñez and Everton. They're looking to bring on another player here. Let's see who it is who comes on. as Benfica look to just hold out the result. Alex Grimaldo coming off the pitch. Nuno Tavares, the young Portuguese fullback, coming on for a bit of extra legs as Benfica look to hold on in this game. They just need to make sure Arsenal don't get a goal, or else Arsenal will be going through to the next round and Benfica will be sent packing. But there's only 5 minutes left of normal time in this one, as the nerves will surely be beginning to jangle. Very, very exciting moment in the game indeed. I'll have to find out, of course, what goes on there as Willian comes forward. Let me put it back to Arsenal Benfica here. Imagine now, if they can get a goal here with a few minutes left. We are in for a grandstand finish. Although they just keep giving the ball away. I think this is the problem for Arsenal. It's not necessarily a case of being too desperate to get the goal. You know, they have to be at this stage, but they just can't seem to get the ball into the final third. A little bit of a moment of brilliance from Tierney to get them into the match. I'll just saying that. They're coming forward here. Ball lobbed into the box. Comes towards the path of Sacco. Cleared away in the end by, I think it was Verissimo. But Arsenal get the ball back with Gabriel Magalhaes, who tries to do a bit of footwork and silky skills, but he's given the ball away now, and Benfica will be looking to come forward here and kill the tie-off, and it's a really good opportunity, and it's a chance here for Darwin Núñez to kill the game off. He's inside the box on the left wing. Takes way too many touches on the ball, though. Flicks it towards the path of, I think it was Everton, who takes it on the volley, but it doesn't get to him in the end. And Arsenal get the ball back, and the nerves will be continuing to jangle here as Arsenal come forward with 4 minutes left on the clock. Kyle's put in the chat, can I complain to your HR management? I feel like Adam is rubbing it in a lot with his game. He's just had a lot of goals. He's had a very, very good 2 legs. You know, we were saying before we went live, there's not a great deal of Europa League games or Champions League games in the past where you get 2 very good legs. But I think a bit of Adam's luck has come off in this match. Oh, there's a chance for Arsenal. It's in! Arsenal have done it! Right into the death, it's Aubameyang. He's put the ball in the back of the net. And Aubameyang has won it for Arsenal, surely. 3-2 in this game with 3 minutes left of the match. And the player that I think every Arsenal fan has been waiting to turn up this season might have just turned up on the biggest stage. Arsenal 3-2, 4-3 in aggregate. What a moment in the match. And it was a ball from Bukayo Saka, who's been so crucial tonight for Arsenal. Lovely, lovely weighted ball towards the left-hand side of the near post to Aubameyang. He's in acres of space. Goalkeeper's positioning is pretty poor, to be fair. And it allows Aubameyang a brilliant, brilliant finish. It's 3-2. But wait a minute. VAR is checking this for an offside. How about this for nerves if you're an Arsenal fan? This is a massive, massive moment in the game. 2 minutes left on the clock. Is it going to count? It does count. Aubameyang has the goal and Arsenal go 3-2 up on aggregate. And we might have just got the late goal that they so desperately needed in this game. And I've just realised I haven't even updated the scoreline of the Arsenal-Benfica game for a long, long time to let me sort that out. 4-3 on aggregate. Arsenal now going through to the next round. What an end to this game. Benfica have got to push for it now. Unbelievable. And they're going to come forward here. Arsenal now got to do role reversal. Defend for their lives. What a crazy game this has turned into. 3-2. A minute and a half left of this match. Unless Benfica can do something special here, they're going home. I have no words. I mean, you called it, Kyle. You said you didn't think Arsenal could get 2 goals back if Benfica scored, and they absolutely have indeed. Unbelievable game. My heart rate has gone up by about 100 as we get towards the 90th minute of this match. Arsenal going long ball in an attempt to maybe get 1 more goal and kill this game off. But it will go down as a Benfica goal kick. And looking at the decision, it's absolutely spot on. Checked by VAR. Goals on the side. Bukayo Saka tonight has had a brilliant, brilliant performance. But once again, as I said, Aubameyang, so crucial for Arsenal in some of the biggest games. He's been so decisive, especially tonight with 2 goals. And Arsenal are going to make the changes now. Callum Chambers and El Neni coming onto the pitch as they look to defend for their lives now. And Luka Waldschmidt coming onto the pitch here with 30 seconds left of the 90. He needs to be a hero here if there's going to be any chance of Benfica coming back into this match. Julian Weigl coming off the pitch. I swear if a goal goes in here, I'm going to go nutty. But we've had a goal elsewhere. In fact, it's not a goal, sorry, it's a penalty in the match between Villarreal and Red Bull Salzburg. Maybe late hopes here. Is it a penalty for Salzburg, Kieran?
It's a penalty to Villarreal, and it's calamitous defending again by Salzburg. They're checking the VAR build-up just in case Chikwueze is offside, but he loses the ball. It's a pass back by Ramalho to the goalkeeper, and Stankovic absolutely wipes out Moreno instead of getting the ball. They're probably going to look at it, but I mean, for me, it's a Stonewall penalty, and I mean, there's a goal elsewhere, Josh. So you might want to go to KL.
Well, we'll bring him in. Ajax 1, Lille 1. Who scored?
It's Ajax. It's game over. It's a nice ball by Tadic, lofted over to the back post, and it's that man Brian Brobby who heads it back across goal, and David Neres heads it in. A lovely little bit of build-up from Ajax, 2 headers back-to-back, and it's game over. Unless, barring the biggest miracle I've ever seen.
Thank you very much, KL. Ajax going through to the next round, 6 goals in that 2 legs, but penalty shout, as you said. Has it been given?
Yeah, it's been given, and Moreno's just stepping up as we speak, and he has scored. Bottom right-hand corner, best player on the pitch tonight, wraps the tie-up for Villarreal. The Spanish side going through to the next round, and disappointing for Salzburg over the 2 legs, but they are going home.
They are going home indeed. Thank you very much, KD. We've got 4 minutes of added time in this game between Arsenal and Benfica. If we get a goal, I'm going to go fucking mental if Benfica score, honestly. Chairs going out the window. I'm jumping out the window. The green screen's crashing down. There'll be bonkers stuff going on in here right now. Full time in the game between, I think, Shakhtar and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Will has put, although Maccabi going out, all the fans are singing and holding up the Israel flags. They're just happy to be there. Fair play to them because, you know, Shakhtar's always a tough team to face, but they've done very, very well. And, of course, it's a very enjoyable experience just to get to the knockout stages anyway. Change of the game for Ajax. David Neres coming off the pitch. Idrissi coming on. So late change in that game, although they are pretty much through to the next round right now. And then Carl's put, no worries. Calm down, me. Arsenal will get knocked out next round and then you'll be happy. But there's still time in this game. Throwing in a deep position for Benfica. Trying to get it towards Luka Volschmidt, 6'2", lofted in by Nuno Tavares. Slight deflection on the ball. It's not convincingly cleared away by Arsenal. And Benfica are going to come forward again. A few more changes in the other match as well. Ajax have brought Gravenberch off, Kudus on. But we're going over to Adam in a second because there's been a penalty given in the Rangers Antwerp game. Pretty much done and dusted now. Who's got the penalty?
Yeah, it's another pen for Rangers. We're approaching the 90th minute anyway, and that's it. Gone now pretty much. I think Wright got tripped in the box just as he came in. This is a chance now to just fully kill the game off. It's Barisic again to step up.
Another 2 penalties.
Oh, no, it's not. It is.
Oh, there's a chance! Oh, it's off the post! Oh, it's off the post. Benfica nearly put it in the back of the net. Oh, sorry.
It's good game. It's like a good game.
Oh, unbelievable. Chance for Barisic, though, to score 2.
It's Itten taking it.
Oh, how have we not scored?
5-2 Rangers. 9-5 on aggregate.
Unbelievable. 7 goals again, by the way.
Done and dusted this time.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Adam. 5-2. 7 goals again. Unbelievable for Adam. How the fuck Benfica did not score there, I have no idea. I think that was the last chance of the game. I thought it was in. It clipped off the post, and I thought they got the goal that was going to take everything away from Arsenal. But with 20 seconds left, Leno's running down the clock here, goal kick. Everybody pushed back just to try and get the ball back. And I think here it looks like Benfica are going to be going out of the competition. Late drama elsewhere as well. Hoffenheim are out of the Europa League because Mold have doubled their lead late on. The biggest shithouse performance I think I have ever seen in Europa League. Well, I wouldn't say Europa League history, but in the knockout stages, they've had 3 shots, 2 on target, both of those ending up with goals. And Mold will be going through to the next round as Benfica look to come forward once again. Ball's been hit long and cleared away. Full time in the game between Maccabi Tel Aviv and Shakhtar. Shakhtar 3-0 in that match. They're going through to the next round. And I mean, Tubbs putting damn it, Benfica. How did they not put the ball in the back of the net? They're going to come forward yet again, though. This will be the last chance of the game. Free kick given at the halfway line. Full time in the Rangers game as well. But the referee has blown his whistle and Arsenal have done it. They're going through to the next round of the Europa League 4-3 on aggregate in what was an absolutely nutty game where I thought in the 94th minute, Benfica had put the ball in the back of the net to pretty much kill Arsenal's hopes and dreams. They've won it after Aubameyang's 2 brilliant goals. But what a match that turned out to be in the end. 3-2 to Arsenal. They go through to the next round. Rangers going through to the next round as well. 5-2. Good performance tonight from Rangers. They beat Antwerp 9-5 on aggregate, which has got to be one of the most high-scoring Europa League affairs in the last decade, or potentially of all time, depending on how you see it. It's a bonkers game, that one. But we've still got late drama elsewhere. Full time in the match between Molde and Hoffenheim. Molde going through to the next round of that match, of the next round of the Europa League even. Hoffenheim have gone out of the competition. Shocking performance from them tonight. They had 27 shots, Hoffenheim, 9 on target, 2 shots on target for Molde. Both of them went into the back of the net. That is a football manager performance, if I have ever seen one. And then, of course, the only match left playing is Napoli-Granada. That has got a few minutes left, but we will keep you up to date with that one as that continues on. Of course, that one has got a little bit of time left, so we'll keep you up to date with the 8 p.m. stream if that sees any late goals. And then, of course, Ajax Lille as well, still going on. I would assume that's probably got about 60 seconds tops left, but unbelievable. Unbelievable night of action. Usually, we'd go through all the games and we would talk about them and stuff, but because we've got the 8 p.m. show coming up, we will, of course, just wait for these other games to finish, and then you can join us at 8 p.m. And in fact, you won't be. Well, I would say you won't be joining me, but you will be joining Rowan and KD. The 2 main games being covered tonight are United Sociedad alongside Leicester Slavia, but we will be doing the goal show alongside it. The likes of me, KL, will be sat in the background. We'll be watching on with the other games tonight, getting excited for the likes of AC Milan against Red Star Belgrade, Club Brugge against Dynamo Kiev, just to name a few of the big matches going on tonight in the Europa League. But we've still got a little bit of time left in that Ajax little game. Napoli-Granada still 2-1 in that match. It's looking like Napoli are about to be knocked out of the competition, which would be a massive, massive loss. And I believe as well, we'll probably be getting towards full time. It wouldn't matter anyway, but we are about to lose Lille from the competition too. So if you're a FIFA fan, you're probably crying that you're the fan of Renato Sanchez isn't going to get upgraded. He's going out of the competition, and it is full time in that match, which therefore means we are pretty much done and dusted across the board into tonight's fixtures. The only game going on is Napoli-Granada, but we'll update you on that on the 8 o'clock stream. Full time across the board. Rangers 5, Royal Antwerp 2, 9-5 on aggregate in that game. 7 goals again in the second leg. Mental match yet again, although Rangers a lot more comprehensive tonight. What a game this one turned out to be. Arsenal 3, Benfica 2, 4-3 on aggregate to Arsenal. Unbelievable game. I need to honestly just take a breather because I thought Benfica had got one back and stole it at the end in the 94th minute. Ajax 2, Lille 1, 4-2 in aggregate. Good performance from Ajax who go through to the next round, and that's a big performance. Good to see them go through to the next round. Lille are out. Shakhtar Donetsk with a comfortable 3-0 win against Maccabi Tel Aviv. 1-0 only today, but Maccabi Tel Aviv could certainly be very proud of their performance. As Will said, fans celebrating and just enjoying their time in the Europa League. Villarreal 2, Red Bull Salzburg 1, 4-1 on aggregate. That ended. Good performance from the Spanish side. Good performance for Unai Emery there. Molde, shock victory against Hoffenheim, 5-3 on aggregate against the Bundesliga side. They are out. Munas de Berg going out of the competition will not be happy about that. And then Napoli-Granada still going on in the background. That is going into the last couple of minutes of additional time. So as I said, we'll update you if anything changes in that match. But overall, I'm going to bring the boys back into the stream very quickly and say once again, big thank you to KL, to Will, to Adam, and then to KD. He's had to obviously jump off before they go live at 8 o'clock. Well, weren't really bad games, were they, this time? We've got some fairly eventful matches.
Yeah.
Well, just speak to Adam. If you just want, just go to Adam. I'm
going to say it's all right for Adam. Get 7 goals a week. It's all right for some.
Yeah. Easily done.
Honestly, unbelievable. Once again, very quickly, if you haven't checked out our social media already, our Twitter is @the_top corner and our Instagram is @the_sports corner. And then we have new articles available every single day on the sports-corner.com, including one of the articles that you wrote up fairly recently, Kieran, based on FIFA.
Yeah, just about some people who could get some winter upgrades. One of the players I watched tonight, Mike Mainan, I think he might be in the pipeline. I'm definitely not putting any Antwerp defenders in. They're not getting any upgrades this week. Definitely not. But yeah, recently. And also, Simon's just put one up about the future of China. Will they win the World Cup by 2050, which is their aim?
That's perfect. So there's lots of articles available, yet again, the sports-corner.com to check that out. We will be back. Well, I'm saying we will be back, but it'll be Rowan and KD hosting the next part of the show. That's in about 2 minutes' time. But you're able to join me, KL, and Will. We'll be doing the goal show in between. Let's hope we get some more incredible games and we'll go mental. But as for now, big thank you to KL, big thank you to Will, and a big thank you to Adam as well for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Josh.
Really appreciate it.
Very much.
Cheers, Josh. Thanks for having us again.
Thank you very much indeed. We'll be back in a few minutes for the 8 p.m. kickoffs. What could possibly happen? If you don't join us, have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we hope to see you again soon. Good night.